Two, to be alive again. Right? Two, to be able to come together and be able to acknowledge and do what does say Mr. Yahuwah. Isn't that right? They all shall be taught of him. Isn't that right? That's our goal, to be taught of him. In doing that, we want to make sure we are conscious of what it is we're trying to do in our endeavor. Always same. I definitely had to put out the disclaimer for the liberation, the equality, and that right, the further advancement of my people, both religiously and those of my ethnic group. Isn't that right? Past the time I thought about it, prayed about it, considered. I had a long text I had typed up for y'all, then I just went ahead and deleted it. I guess in a way, maybe some would feel I should be sorry for my actions, kind of my frustration with our situation, but I don't really feel I owe an apology for it. I don't think anybody that care about themselves, about their people, anybody that would, I think they would have kind of the same frustration I would have. Anybody who saw their existence being exterminated and watching their people becoming extinct would, revolt to doing something to try to keep and maintain their survival. So we're saying that I would not apologize for my actions. Only if it hindered and keep somebody from salvation, I would apologize. But I just feel that if our people had a fair chance, I know they would say we wouldn't, but they only judge us because they only looked at us and dealt with us in a primitive type situation, watching, how we've been beaten and slaughtered and lied and mass incarcerated, drugged, infected with AIDS, turned to homosexuality, single parent homes, given cancer and every other disease they can make up or fabricate, sexually transmitted diseases and others. I mean, so when you find us and you deal with us, you deal with a crippled and a hurt people. You deal with a people that's been without fathers and without mothers, been without structure, been without religion, been without a country, been without a land, been without dignity and integrity. I mean, our religion, every one of these other cultures have a religion that they can kind of source back to for their strength in the times of trouble, in the time of adversity, in the time of sickness. We're the only people that don't have one. So for us, finding Yahuwah, the existing one, is his name. So when you call his name, you don't know why he called it. It means when he told us he was Yahuwah, his breath, sound and vibration, he is the existing one. For years, hundreds of years, even maybe thousands, we've been without the true Elohim, which is the mighty one. It's been because of some of it been through some of our own detriment. But I had to sit and I had to kind of take inventory and lay and kind of wonder what kind of people we had to be put in the condition that we in now. You had to ask yourself, what kind of people were our fathers that we would be left in a place like this? You know what I'm saying? In a sense of what they call godless. We've been left in a situation with no form of deliverance, no form of help. We just more or less just kind of converted to something. You know what I'm saying? You just more or less just kind of fell into something. The first thing that came along that sounded good, felt good, we grabbed it. When you have no hope, what do you take? What you make anything hope? I remember years ago they had the story of Michael Jackson, and he had a pet rat he would play with. You say, what kind of kid will play with a rat, the kind that don't have any other playmates? You know what I'm saying? The kind that just been stricken and just work and can't play because your daddy pushing you because they got to make money, and you the center and you the key to your brothers being successful and carrying your family. So you have this pressure on your back, and now you don't get any time to really do anything that a normal kid would do. So what do you do but revert with playing with a rat? Now to those of us that had toys and had dogs or cats or whatever, hamsters or goldfish, to us it seemed almost preposterous that he would be sitting here playing with a rat. But if you look at, if we had our religion a long time ago, we had our Elohim, and we had knowledge and sense, and we had health, and we had our own food and the proper diet that he prescribed for us, we wouldn't be in this condition. See, whenever we're being judged by our counterparts, the whites, the Hispanics, or anybody else, you're only judging me and you're looking at me based off the condition I'm in now. You should have seen me before I met the white man. You should have seen me. I was something to look at. All of my people, and we were arrayed in our own clothing, when we were arrayed in our jewelry, when we were in our land, we had a proper diet, when we had structure, when our women were submissive to our men knew how to take care of women. You should have seen me then. Now he'll show me, and you know what he'll show me most like? On cops. Not me helping the cop, show the cop locking me up. So you got to understand, I'm very frustrated. You know, I thought about it, you know, how you walk away from it and leave it alone, but how do you allow it to keep happening and be comfortable with it? It's bothersome. You know what I'm saying? To just know the condition that we in every day. We lie and we go to religious edifices every week from Shabbat, Saturday, what they'll call it the Saturday, Sundays, and the most oppressed people are in the worst places and in the worst condition, and all you can do in the answer they keep telling you is just pray. Just pray. How do you keep telling the people that when you flip on the news, you keep seeing your baby dead? Just pray. How do you see your people on the street, your neighborhoods have been, you know, infiltrated? I mean, all the resources, all of the people just totally just vamped out of the place, and they just tell you just pray. How do you do that? You watch your schools, your kids are failing. They just say just pray. Every answer to everything we do, they tell us, is just pray. And the problem I have is the people that are telling me to pray, I never see them pray. I see them take affirmative action. I see them take precautions. I see them break off in groups and swear leagues and legions to them. And they say they're willing to defend and die to defend what it is they believe. But when I stand up to say, this is what I believe, they tell me just pray. So you have to understand me that Tony Smith was a little confused. If what I say offends or hurt anybody's salvation, I repent of that. But I will not repent from my vigor and my fight and plight to try to make sure our people are liberated, both spiritually and naturally. I just see that being more conducive. My people need that. My people need the freedom. My people need the resources. My people need the medicine. My people need the information. My people need it. We need it. We need housing. We need health care. We got a long list. You know, I had talked to somebody. They said, listen, I'm with you, but if you can just condense down, break it down to 3 things. Well, I'll tell you how I'm with you. I don't know. But then I have to look at, you know, everybody don't feel your pain. That's just being honest. Everybody don't see it as a need because they feel like they're making some money. You see what I'm saying? So they're making some money. You don't realize you're not making money. He's allowing you to pull some tricks until he say, you know what, enough is enough. Right. And once you cross me and you feel like your money put you in a situation you're untouchable, then I'm going to break you. I don't like that. I don't think our people should have to live under the shade. I mean, it ain't no better having money than being broke. You got to feel taxes. You got to feel auditing. You got to, for us, it's nothing you can do here under their system that you can say, this is relief. This is safety. You know what I'm saying? This is fairness. This is awareness. You don't ever get it here. That's why I don't get it. I don't care what you got. You ain't nothing. I appreciate Chris. He sent me the article where the young man had a shootout with the Atlanta police. This was last night. Where he'll get rehabilitation? Will he get help? He'll be back playing football next year? He done. Let's just be honest. We won't take away his responsibility for his action, but let's just be practical. What did they do to put him in that situation? I ain't talking about the police. I'm not talking about the police. We're talking about a system. First of all, I'm a man. I mean, at minimum, a rookie is making about $380,000, $500,000, maybe $500,000 a year. So we know this ain't economic. They probably put him to this end. But how many other things were done to him that put him in a situation that now they can go and say, another fallen black athlete? We tried to give him opportunity, give him a chance to get in here, and the Negroes can play with the white man. But see, when we get in there, it's more pressure on us than it is on them. People don't realize, these guys have no idea. These black athletes don't have the same pressure as white man. White man got a failing white quarterback, he can sit back there for a lot of years. Look how long that sorry bastard sat in that lounge. Look how long he sat in that lounge. Listen, and then he should have been ran out. Where he go? Indiana got him. He'll sit in Indiana, he'll F up Indiana for about 3-4 years, then another team will get him. And they'll talk, and you know what they'll do? You'll never hear them downplay the white boy and say he should be out of the league, he should be gone, he's an embarrassment in the league, he's poor, he's underperforming. They'll still say, still great. One of the greatest. And they'll give you the averages you never even kept up, never even heard of. You know what I'm saying? Most time hold the ball. You're like, Y'all care how long somebody hold it. Listen, to make a white athlete great, they'll create stats. Most time up and down the field. You thinking, most time up and down the field, most time put on a helmet. Okay, y'all, I'm telling you, huh? One of the only players to ever have his same mouthpiece the whole game. You thinking, they be like, great. I'm telling you, but see, you got to remember, it's their system. Only problem I got, I'm angry enough to where it don't make sense to stay in it. Again, it ain't about killing white people. It's about let's just separate it. Let's just separate everything down the middle. Husbands and wives will do it. Somebody look, listen, me and you back and forth arguing. We keep back and forth. We can't get along, we disagree. Husband and wife say, let's separate. Let's just split everything and separate. How long we been fighting with these people? And you know what they'll tell you? It's one thing when y'all arguing. What they'll say, what they'll tell you when a man start putting hands on you? Get out, why? He gonna what? He gonna keep. What we keep saying on the news? Why are you still in that relationship? Why are you in this lopsided relationship when everything you've been told from the women being told about the man, and we hearing it saying, get out. He's going to wind up hurting you. You're going to wind up getting killed in that situation. Why are you still in this relationship? He's killing you. We ain't moved to. He's going to kill you. You're dead. And you still keep existing. You can't promise your kids equality and safety. When I was a little kid, I felt safe when I was with my dad. I felt like when that dog run, he made that dog go in there. I tried it. That dog like, nigga, I don't know who you think. That dog chased me. I did that jump. Me and my dad walking. I was outside my dad. He said, get back up in that yard. That dog ran back up in that yard and go. I walking. I got it. I walk by this. I go that street. I said, get back in that yard. I was strolling. I can't even like, nigga, you ain't serious. Listen, man, that dog chased me. I said, I don't know what happened, man. And then he like a nasty rug. So he landed in the grass, it like a rug. You know how you see one of them rugs that been wet and nasty? That's how he was. He one of them little terrorists had that hair. Man, that rug get up. He said, nigga, I want you to try that one more time. I said, you know what you had to do? Like Chris said, go around the long way. And you be thinking, I can be right down there. Look down and you said, dog, go around the long way. That joke pissed me off so bad, man. Oh. Any of y'all little kids, young people, y'all do have to do that now? Y'all got a dog or anything out? Y'all had to go around the long way? Yeah, I hate that. We spent a lot of years doing that, going around. How many of y'all say y'all had to go through that, go around the other way them dogs come? Man, they had them in the country too, but they had a German Shepherd made to come out there. God damn. Listen, in the car, man, you'll cringe up and listen, he'll come try to bite the tires. Man, that dog's so crazy. You be like, you trying to bite the car? My cousin done broke him one time. He had made one of my cousins having to run. They broke him. Them country jokers, they get him. They'll try their hand. They got him, caught him, and they divided that joke. One behind, one in front. He kept jumping back and forth. All they did was slap their tail. When he turned around, he was getting hit in the head with a bottle. Y'all, listen, they rocked that joker. After that joker said, listen, man, y'all kids gonna play, man. That joker said, I got a hangover. I said, them country, listen, they had a trick for him. They like, all we're gonna do is divide him. He kept jumping back and forth trying to figure it. They went around and slapped that tail when he jumped. Here come the bottle. Y'all. That's the only way to stop him. I know Peter don't like it. I wish I had a video for you too. I could block their face out. I ain't gonna tell on my cousin them either. One of them named, ain't that right? They ain't gonna come protect the people get bit. You gonna protect the dog. Right. That's the same when they do when our people get victimized. They gonna protect the victimized and not the victim. That's right. So, with all that saying, I guess in a way, should I apologize? No. Only thing is, I care about my people. I care about us. I care about y'all. I want y'all to care about yourself. I want y'all to have a fair chance. I can't say enough. All I want y'all to do is have a fair chance. You'd be surprised how much life better is, that you can walk out the door and you can say, and you ain't got to worry about somebody white, a counterpart coming, arresting you and just killing you for living or existing for your color or mistaking you for some bogus, outline they have of some criminal that you don't remotely resemble. And they can say, I'm just doing my job, because they don't do it to white people. And that's all we want. We just want that. Is that unreasonable for us to want that? No. Is that unreasonable that we want our kids, your kid can look at you and say, can I go outside and play? And you don't have to sit there and think second time. You go outside and play. Something could happen. So if I got some white people in my neighborhood and I know they ain't too fond of black, think about we would ever go outside and play. You had to think about it. Hold on for a minute. No, just stay in the house. Because you start adding up all the danger. And you know what? It's not just danger from white people that hate us, because it ain't every one of them. Our own people detrimental to us. I once had a freedom and equality for that. Yeah, listen, I'm for holding our people. Listen, if a person of color commit a crime against another person of color, I said we give you more time than anybody white we ever get. Because anybody should know my struggle, it ought to be you. You'll steal from me. You know how, anything you see me with, you know how hard I had to work and struggle to get it. You know what I had to do. You know these crackers ain't gave me nothing. Right. You ought to get more time than a white man. Yep. We ought to hold them more accountable. It is. Come on. Yep. Listen, if we can't make you do it for the love that's in you to do it, then we're going to punish you for it. Yep. We're going to punish you and make you treat it right. Isn't that right? Be like your mom, they make y'all get to fight. Man, hug each other. For both of y'all get a whip. Y'all remember that they mean? Hug them. Better hug them. Yes, they tell you better hug them. You get a whipping. You be like, yeah, get it. Think about it, though. Cause what was on the line? Something was on the line, though. Make it otherwise. You wouldn't just let it go. You wouldn't forget it. We got to listen, if we had to criminalize the behavior of the so-called Negro if that's what it takes to make the so-called Negro love himself. That's true. Yeah. We got to make him look. And when we have to, we'll pass a law. Everybody black got to wear a mask looking like each other. That way make them treat it right. Say, look, that person look just like, I mean, you had to almost train us in a way that we can stop thinking that we don't all connect to each other. Right. We got to do something. Listen, and people can say, I think that's drastically overboard. Give me a solution. Because everything else we tried ain't working. We done marched, we done met, we done rallied, we done raised money, we done fund. How many groups we got? Can you look at how many black organization groups we got to help help black people, please? I'm just curious how many we got. And most of them we hear, I'm sure none of them never even heard them before. And they exist somewhere. And I ain't saying nobody ain't doing that, so please don't think I'm saying that. But if you see, we don't have the knowledge of them. Now, white people have the knowledge of them because all of them are under FBI investigation. Okay, they didn't know that. Okay. Y'all don't know that, do you? You're not going to have a black organization under FBI investigation. That's not happening. That's a threat to national security. Anytime when people of color start to invoke or start to say they want to invoke their right to existence in life and they want to control their own destination, that's a threat to national security. How many of y'all didn't know that? Okay, try it. Every group done tried it, been busted up. They all had to watch. They're going to say, well, we just watching and we just make it. That's why I say I don't want to do no closet meeting. I don't have to do no private meeting. If I ain't doing nothing wrong, why I got to hide? I don't want to do no secret meeting. Secret for what? Secret for what? So you have somebody run tell it. Anytime you got to bow down and hide it, then he know you scared of him. If I said it one time, I say it 2 times. That's how we got to be with it. Why we will hide it? Why we got to have a secret meeting to do it? I don't get it. It's how we done that. You know how many years Dr. King and all them met? Guess what? They put spies in there and broke them up. Every one of them tried it. They did it in churches. They secretly met and they busted every one of them up. And you know what? Nobody sit around looking at this and say, what was the crime? Just even with the Black Panther Party, can somebody tell me the crime they committed against America? They said J. Edgar Hoover said the biggest threat of national security from the Black Panther Party was that they were giving kids breakfast in the morning. Did y'all know that? Okay. J. Edgar Hoover said that the biggest threat of the Black Panther Party was not them having guns. They walked into the assembly in California with their gun, proving that the law was not against them having guns. They debunked all that. He said that was not the threat. The threat was that they were feeding kids in the morning. Do you not know our kids were going to school without eating in the morning? The Black Panther Party was one of the first groups that instituted kids getting lunch in the breakfast in the morning. They were feeding them in the morning, giving them grits, making sure them kids ate. Because what they told you, breakfast was the most important part of the day. They were going to school hungry. How much learning you going to get when your stomach growling in the morning? And you don't eat till what, 11:45, 12 o'clock, 12:30. By that time, you already failed. Whatever you'll pick up after that, you can forget it. You already done failed the first half of the day. You only left for about 7.5 hours. So they instituted feeding them breakfast before they went to school. They said that was the biggest threat. And they wind up at stick. You don't think it's amazing that every one of these people wind up on crack cocaine? Heroin? What's the chances of that? Brilliant minds. All these people were brilliant minds, and all of a sudden, this cocaine heroin come in, and all y'all just happen to agree on using it. They infiltrated people into that group, women, that gave these guys cocaine, that gave them heroin. Think about it. Why would Huey P. Newton? This man was way to be an attorney. Why would this man spend all this time and all of a sudden decide he want to start using heroin? They infiltrate them by putting women into the organization. The women introduced the heroin to them. All of them, Tupac Shakur mother, all of them heroin fiends. These people, they want their way to be Rhodes Scholars. The information they had concerned about the law, understanding how the Constitution worked, understanding the amendments and rights, you had to get them out of the streets. They were educating the people on what their rights were. So that teaches you, by teaching them their so-called rights, it doesn't help them. The only right thing to do is to separate. Marcus Garvey told us best. J. Edward Hoover, he deported him back to Jamaica. He tried to tell people, Africa is for the Africans. If you are an African, why are you still in America? That got him in trouble too, deportation. See, anytime you educate people, white people can go back and visit their roots. They'll be from France, England, Switzerland. They'll be from Australia. They go back and forth all the time. Dual citizenship. Where your citizenship at? Me and Austin was talking earlier. He was telling me about how, he said, when you was talking about how all these other nations have, he said all the other, how they have the neighborhoods, Little Havana in Miami and all these different places. He was saying the difference with the so-called Negro is there. He said he didn't have anybody to back him. He said they got Mexico to back them and Cuba. I said those people don't back them. The reason why they allow them to have their own community is because they're not a threat. See, all the thing a Mexican want to do and a Cuban want to do is be an American. My problem is I already been American. I'm trying to get back to my nationality. See, all them people, they'll run and they'll sell and they'll run and leave everything they got to become American. I've been American longer than they've been. I was an American as soon as he grabbed me and put me on that ship. I became the property of. You don't see you have like university shirt. You know they'll put on the bottom? Property of. Y'all seen that? That's what he put on me when I was on the auction block. Sad part of it, the shirt ain't never came off. So I'll be glad to give him my shirt to the Cuban, to the Mexican, and any other nationality. All I want to do is be able to source myself back and be able to have the freedom to operate in my religion. I want the freedom to be able to think, and I want the freedom to be quiet. I want the freedom to be able to go out without being arrested because of my color or because of the neighborhood I live in. You know, we'll teach our people, really, if you want to be successful, you're going to need to get out the neighborhood that you're in, and you have to let your friends go. White people keep their friends. Go find out how many white people became successful when they stopped being friends with David Duke, head of the Klan. None of them. None of them lost any position. They didn't lose no footage. They didn't lose no connection, and they stayed friends. Trump and the Proud Boys. See, everything they teach you, you have to leave them bad kids alone. You have to leave. They teach you that. A lot of our kids are only bad because of the resources. Our kids are not inherently bad. Our kids are bad. What resources do they have? Come on. They eat one meal a day. Mama busy trying to get a man, and the kid is lost. The kid doesn't have any direct. The kid not getting the care. Our kids are only. Look at go inside of these juveniles. Go inside these prisons and look at the parenting situation. Look at the neighborhood. Look at all the conditions and see how much that played a part of them being arrested. Why they in and out of jail? Let me see. One meal a day, I get 2, 3 in here. I'm wondering, why would they stay in jail? Why would they keep going back? Am I saying we don't have a problem with our kids? Not at all. But we need to go back and source everything and see how much we play a part of the failure of our kids. We need to learn what part we play in the failure of our communities. And then when we start to recognize what part we play and how much of a part he played, then it's time to start implementing change. I don't want to just talk about it. I want to see us implement it and get real change. If I can't do it, it's like my parents would come along, their parents. They knew what life was for them. And they learned to accept it. That they had gone through life and this is far they were going to go. But they worked to at least make sure my kids would do better than me. My kids would make it further than me. If I dropped out, I would do everything to make sure my kids stayed in. If I fell sick, I would do everything to make sure my kids stayed well. What's wrong with us? Why won't we implement a plan, at least say, if we're done, if we're that tired, and we're that, if we're that just gullible to still sit and be docile, why wouldn't we do something at least to say, Let's advance the next generation. Well, my young people, please don't be like us. Please. Can y'all do that for me? Please don't settle. Please don't let these people come up and give you a little water money that they can take or devalue at any time. Money is a game. They can put in your pocket, and they can drop the value. All you do is raise the goods up. Now it takes more of what you have to get it. As soon as you get rid of it, you say, well, money ain't nothing, then they'll put the value back high as soon as you lose it. Well, look at it. Think about this. When COVID came, he was stuck in a situation that he panicked. It overtook him. He stuck money in the hands of people. He messed up the economy, messed up the working force. Now, as soon as too many people, he found out a lot of our people got into crypto. We was all over. Did y'all look on you? How many, everybody, crypto, learn how to be me in crypto. I made $80,000 a month, crypto. Everybody went crazy, crypto. He crashed the crypto market. Then he realized some people got money and got out. Some people wind up getting money from SBA, PPPs, and people wind up bettering themselves. And then they start looking at what? Take the price of goods up. He break you. How you win? This is what he'll say. Okay, let's see. His plan of inflation is used to kind of stabilize the economy. This is the lie he tells himself. It makes no sense. Economically, it makes no sense. First of all, they can say, well, it's the lack of goods. You can get the goods, you just don't choose to put them out here. See, they'll make a fool out of you by telling you. Let me see. The housing market was booming, meaning houses was selling, meaning homeowners are getting more money, which means if people got more money, they got more money to spend and put back in the economy, we can fund more people. When people when people have economic freedom, it makes you want other freedoms as well. Yes, sir. You don't need people having freedom when you have an oppressive government. See, the biggest problem we got is people can't think. All you do is listen to what they tell you. Let's look at white economics. White economics only goes and cripples other countries. Whites don't know how to do business. I'm talking about from a government. They don't know how to do business. Me and you do business, swap it. The only way I know how to do business, we're going to swap a couple of times, I'm going to wind up taking. I can't do what me and you just keep doing business and just keep working. I'm going to do business with you, then I'm going to cripple you. I'm going to take you down. Because he don't know how to continually do business. Y'all, listen, I do business with them. They don't know how to do business. They're terrible business people. Every time they do business with you, it cripple. Any country you find they done business with, they cripple them. Look at Puerto Rico. Poor. What's bad, they got the nerve to call this a territory. Right. It's a colony. They've been, people, nigga don't know the difference. See, white folk, you word with you, it's a colony. That's what it is. That's all it's a colony. They went and devastated these people. Yep. These people don't have a brain in their head. They flushed them out of their country and ran them here. They never get the support of being Americans. Roosevelt, all these people came here and made a fool out of these people from the late 1800s to the 1900s. They've taken these people and they are poor. We watch them in New York, they're poor. Everywhere they go is poor and run down. That's how they cripple them, so you'll look at them as a devalued people. That's how they make us look. Listen, he put you somewhere, listen, he poorly constructs it, he puts it up, and it wasn't designed to last. When he built the project, he knew his grass wasn't going to last, but he took pictures, look where we putting them, and then put you in it. And you start looking at them things about built like a jail cell. The grass, listen, they got grass now you can throw down temporary to get something going. I'm a builder. Listen, if we build something, and that's a new construction, the county, city is going to make me put grass down. They will not give me a CO to let somebody occupy their house unless I got grass down. They have grass seed that you can throw down that can come up almost immediately just so you can get a CO. It's going to die on them later, but it'll let me get done what I need done. So he puts down cheap grass so your people will come in and he can come back and say, look how they tore the place up. Look at the place. The place had the grass on it. He does that because he knows he mesmerizes you. He knows you're not a thinker. You don't watch him. All your averages, all the number he gives you about you come from you. You think I'm going to read a book from these black guys writing a book? All his research came from a white man. Give me the research where the nigga actually put foot down and actually did the work himself. All his stuff gonna sort right back from white people. Just like we get up here and we read this stuff, I had to tell you all the time, I had to put a disclaimer. I don't have all my confidence in these people. Every one of them I found Browns and Briggs. These people are Christians. How are you looking up words and historical facts and truth about my religion and you still stay with your religion? How many of y'all, if you did research on Jehovah's Witnesses and their religion, you will be fair and unbiased? What would keep you from being fair? Oh, not interested, don't believe it. Why wouldn't you take the time out to make sure you're just accurate on everything? It ain't your religion. I wouldn't expect the Jehovah's Witness to trust what I tell them. Even though I wouldn't tell them a lie, I'm just not going to dabble in yours to try to find your truth. Because first of all, I don't even believe it. So why would I search for a truth in it? Let's go through the 3 little pigs and try to see where we can find truth at. Y'all think we can do that? We can find the truth in it? Why not? That's a lie. There is no truth in a lie. That's the whole thing I believe. This man's existence, this man's so-called creation, it's all fabricated. It's all lies. But you love them. But you love them. I try to tell y'all stuff because I mean, one is to trigger you, to make you think, to make you, I don't want you to feel like your emotions are criminal. He wants to make everything you do. I always keep saying, we don't want to kill him. We don't have to kill him. Do I have to say that when we're not doing it? Why don't he ever come out and say, we don't want to kill y'all? Why he don't ever say that? We always, if we have a group, we always got to come out and say, listen, brother, we're not going to hurt white people. We're not going to do nothing to white people. Every time we say, why? He puts this in our minds. You have to say that as a disclaimer, because anytime 2 or 3 or 5 or 100 so-called black people talk, the first thing they associate with, they don't want to kill white people. 2, 3 white police officers. Nobody run around and stop. And you know what they're going to do. If we've had white police officers for years, I grew up. This one they had Kojak, a white police officer. He worked for the DeKalb County, Cobb County. He got fired out. They had to move. He wouldn't stop. Listen, that white boy was terrible. Listen, he have his shirt rolled up. Listen, he beat the piss out you. This man come to your house, no warrant. This man kick your door in. I had a friend with dating white girl. Listen, he come to your house. This white boy come to your house. White boy didn't play no game with nobody. Everybody knew who he was. Nobody got rid of him. Nobody got rid of him. Can you imagine? This man went in the area, wasn't even the DeKalb County area. I'm talking about not come to your door, come in your house. Can you imagine that man come in your house because you dating a white girl? Nobody stopped him. And he was only one person. He was the only person out there doing it. Superiors known. How bad is it when Cobb County get rid of you? This in the 80s. Everybody knew Cobb County was racing. Cobb County got their own bus line because they didn't let model. Most of y'all don't know why they're You live in that area. You don't know how they got that bus, do you? They got that bus, that CCT bus, because model was going to come up there. And those white people said model was not coming there. And they started their own bus line to keep blacks out. That's how they got that bus. Listen, y'all don't know. See, I'm born and raised him. You remember this? Listen, you got on that bus. Where you going? See, you ain't gonna listen. Where you stay at? You couldn't get on that bus. That bus was not even designed for you. It was designed for white people. They said model one come down, and guess what? CTT still got it. Yes, sir. See how long they keep stuff? And these niggas around here thinking, this is Atlanta. It's a black city. Black folk run Atlanta. These niggas so retarded. You don't even know enough about Atlanta. They don't know nothing about these. But can you imagine that's how president they are? They started their own bus system. You remember that, Malcolm? These folks don't have no idea, do they? You remember that, don't you, James Smith? Listen, they looked at this. This is why you don't find busing in Conyers. You'll see now they got these little drop-off places. You know why? Because now it will give you no excuse not to move him. The whole purpose of putting these places out was because poor blacks shouldn't have a car. So now what they're going to use? They're going to need the transportation. So you don't allow model to come and don't put the trains here. So now it's another reason to keep you out. Most of these people are so dumb, they don't know no different. I grew up, let me tell you something, man. We never came to Conyers. Never. I never got the spreadway to come to Conyers. If somebody told me I moved to Conyers, I'd tell you a damn lie. I never, Conyers? Nobody came down here. That Arby right there, that whole parking lot, all them white kids do, just sit there and just spin their cars around. All they just run a circle. Spin a circle doing it. Police wouldn't get them, flip the cars over, untouchable, nobody never did them. They had a whole little world going on down here. We stayed away from them. We already knew what kind of people they were. You come out here, you come up missing. White girl gonna see you. She gonna see Mandingo. Mandingo gonna die. These folk didn't play down here. Covington, no. We didn't get out the exit. You remember going back and forth to Sparta years ago, going to Kanye? You remember getting off there and getting something to eat over here in Kanye? You remember getting off in Covington, getting off and riding around, getting something to eat and getting gas in Covington? These folks know you didn't play around now. These white folks didn't play that. Anybody from down here that older? Mac, you ever heard of Kanye back when you were growing up? Me neither. Now tell her where you were born at. Where's Atlanta? In Alabama? In Mississippi? Tennessee? Let me get this straight. You were born downtown Atlanta and you grew up where? Somewhere closer to Alabama? Where you grew up at? And you say when you grew up you never heard of who? He ain't lying. I didn't know what Kanye was. Listen, we didn't even look at the sign. You knew you didn't get listen, you could look and say, you ain't supposed to be him. It'd be dark. It'd be a gas station with one street light. You said, man, don't get off the exit. Them gas stations selling the strike. No, listen. No white boy gonna beat you. I'm trying to tell you, they were terrible. I remember years ago, I first started truck driving, I got off, we were driving the truck, we got off 441 down there in Madison, made a right, we going down here to stop and get some gas. Got out there, white boy, he said, what y'all boys down here doing, picking cotton? We said, picking what? They said 19, not picking cotton. He looked at, he seen if 4 niggas done jumped out of tractor trailer. He said, what y'all boys doing down here picking cotton? Like picking cotton in 1995. Val looked at me like, yeah, was y'all picking cotton? No. Val, no, we were not picking cotton. Val said she was, isn't that right? But it's scary. The mentality of these people and the things that they do. These little country towns are still the same. That's even with country. Listen, I know people and different things, we do stuff. They still keep things to where they control the loop. You could be in these places, you deal with these people, they still got their own circle. It's business, it's other stuff they do, they'll keep you out of. You can move right in these cities. It's a whole world that'll keep working around you where these people making millions of dollars. And I mean, it's so much going on. They'll never enlighten, they'll never tell you. And then the black people they put inside, they learn, shh, keep your mouth shut or we'll run you out. You need to know about it. If it's something that comes up, all we saying, we want a fair chance to know about it. When he know about it, we want to know about it. When bids come on, we want to bid. Maybe we don't get it, but we want the opportunity. We want somebody to look at it and be fair with us. Let me tell you something. Atlanta had a dirt deal down here when they built that airport. A lot of y'all didn't live here when they expanded the airport. How many of y'all didn't live here back when they expanded the airport? You didn't live here, so you don't remember. Let me tell you how that worked out. You see how they expanded the airport? When they did that to bring the dirt down now, the dirt. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Haul the dirt. How you haul dirt? Dump truck. $350 million. What's the contract that went out? $350 million. That's how much the contract paid. Would you live here in Chris when that contract went out? You remember hearing about it? Listen, Mayor Campbell lost his job, lost his law license, and went to prison behind it. He gave it to a black man. These crackers lost it. They prosecuted him, took him to jail, tried to bust their marriage up. Oh, they had it caught. Oh, this on TV. They got him. He was found guilty. Yes, sir. Found him. What it was? No, they got him for immorality. He had committed adultery on his wife. Atlanta found him. Listen, Atlanta found him guilty of being immoral. He had committed adultery on his. Listen, they tried to get him for bribery. They tried to get him conspiracy. All this went. Listen, they had a video. The mayor walked up to him. They tried to get some other one. They had who's the black guy used to be. He tried to Martin Arrington. He's a judge, former judge. Yeah. They got him too. Feds got everybody. They had that guy Ira. They sit up on top of the building. Oh, y'all can look at the video. They're on top of the building. He walks out the building. The Joker walk up and hand him an envelope like there was some money in it. He said, what you doing? He looked at me like, what you doing? He like, here you go. He tried to get more at him. He like, they try to bust all of them. They try to lock every one of them down to get him. He love them though. He still love them white folk. He won't talk about it. They tried to frame him, set him right up. It was the dumbest thing. Who walks up in broad daylight? These folk walk and just walk and hand you an envelope of money like this. He looked at me. He like, what you doing? He tried to get. He like, what you doing? He like, nah, this for you right. In broad daylight, we standing downtown. Who don't know who I am? And I'm getting an envelope stacked up with money in it. Fed on him. They try to get him every time. But Mayor Campbell, they hated him. Mayor Campbell, the only mayor that ever came to Atlanta that did something for black people. They're going to tell you about Maynard Jackson. Maynard Jackson ain't did nothing for black people, okay? Andrew Young did nothing for black people. Campbell the only one did it. They ran him through. The Fed, everybody ran him through. They tried to get him on a lot of tests. He flew up there to New York and did one. Flew back. They were pissed. They're like, we don't want to honor. They tried their best to get him. All he did was put money back in the hands of black people. It's true. I had a sister like to work there. Listen, she said, whenever them celebrities, anybody come, she bring them folks in. Y'all come and meet these people. The other one, they keep them to this. Hey, let these folks meet him. What's wrong with them? Let them meet him. They hate him. They wrecked this man's life, ran this man out. They took his law license. They sent him to prison. They got that man. They just drug his whole family through everything. Only thing they came up, they found him guilty of being immoral. How Trump get to be the president? See, that's the only problem I got. Let's just be fair. If that's the case, let's just get every one of them that's been immoral. But say, look, listen, white folk never gave him for that dirt deal. As soon as he got him being a mayor, he the second mayor they never gave a job in Atlanta. Most mayors, when they retire, when they finish their run, the city always give them a job. Because most of them attorneys. He wound up going to Florida working for one of the largest law firms down in Florida. Them crackers came back, went down to Florida to get him, brought him back and tried him. They put all his family business on the news, just ran him through. Ran his family through. Now, they couldn't get nothing else on him. They said they found him guilty of being immoral. Lost his law license. You know how long it take to go to school to be an attorney? A lot of these guys, they look at, this is my craft. I'm out of the city. I'm not a mayor. I need to work in my field to make money now. They wrecked it. He'll be in Conyers. Y'all can see him around Conyers. Gray, they'll burn him out. Burn him out. He can't do nothing else. That's how they do. White people wreck your life. All I'm saying, let's just be fair. White people get these deals. It don't cost no $350 million to get no dirt. That black man just made money. The same thing whites are going to do. And them white folk were mad he gave it to a nigga. White folk do this all the time. You want to build a builder to do that to make the money. White folk making gravy money. It's no hard work. The truck goes down the mill. They pour dirt on the back of it. They weigh how much dirt it is, and you go drop the dirt. You don't pack the dirt. You drop the dirt. $350 million. White folk hate him. They hate him. I'm talking they will make you suffer. Stuff like that piss me off for the fact that let's just be fair. Right. You were good if a white man got $350 million. Why we don't go with the best person and the best offer? White folk, they was going to charge more than that. That's how you got the bid. Yep. That's right. Listen, $350 million in the 90s? That's $1 billion today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's $1 billion today. Yes, y'all understand gas was still down back then at under $1? Yes, sir. That's right. Do you know how much $350 million was back then? I think it was $360. Look at how much that dirt deal was. I think it was $360 million. $396. He gave $300 to minority company, and they made them suffer for that. All the minority companies probably in jail. They probably went to jail. They got taxes, all kind of stuff. They'll come at them and tap them. See, that's the whole trick why I get upset. We want to be able to have the freedom to make money and live. Really, if people want to be told, if you want to be smart and fix this whole system and get rid of these people that sit in jail for tax evasion and other things, you got to do a flat tax. A flat tax don't allow anybody to get away from not paying taxes. You shouldn't be taxing people on money they earn. You could tax them on what they buy. It don't make sense to tax me on what I earn and then tax me at the store. Right. I'm not winning. If I take the money and I go make some money with the money I was just taxed, I got to come back and pay tax on the whole thing again. So if you look at it, it makes no sense to keep getting taxed on the same money. It will make better sense to do a flat tax where all you pay taxes on is what you buy. Listen, how can a drug dealer get out of paying taxes if you got a flat tax? How could Trump get out of paying taxes if you got a flat tax? Did y'all see how much Trump paid in tax in 2020? Zero. A billionaire paid zero taxes for 2020. Zero. They had to go to court. Supreme Court had to get involved to show you that. See these white folks put in your face and play like they so honest, they so genuine, and I paid it. Why wouldn't you pay your taxes? I paid my tax. Whole time they all criminals. I told you how they beat you. They criminals. Let me tell you something. I do better with these people. These people not honest. They're not honest. I watch, it look good. The suits look good. The ties look good. The speeches look good. The whole integrity thing they try to put look good. They're criminals. They're criminals at best. You go through the books of Bank of America, any one of them, they're criminals. Wells Fargo criminals. The same Wells Fargo that sat here and were taking people's information and opening accounts with them, and you never even done it. So you can get money. And guess what? Guess where folks' money still at? Wells Fargo. The feds locked them up. Did the feds shut them down? So I can take your information and I can go on the web and open up accounts in all y'all names, and the feds ain't gonna take me to prison. The only thing I'm saying, there needs to be a separation. We need equality for ourselves and for our kids. That's all I'm saying. We're not asking other races to agree with us or to allow us to do it. We're saying we'll come together as a conglomerate and sit down and let's reason together. And once we all agree on what the initiative is and what it is we see the most viable that we need to do, that's what we'll do. And we won't be asking. Right. We'll be telling. Right. And that's how we'll move. Y'all want freedom and equality, they're not going to give it to you. It don't make sense. Listen, you basically, what is the word I call you? You're a commodity. You've been a commodity since you were him. You're impressed with that little Social Security number. If you go pick up any product in the store, it's got 1 on it too. Yeah. That's what the barcode is. That's all you are, a commodity. Y'all got it? I'm trying to get you to stop being a commodity and teach you how to create commodities, things that make you money, and stop letting people make so much off of you. You're being used. You're being played in this system, and you're never going to advance. You know, go find any person of color that advance out here. I guarantee you, they stand up for that flag. They praying these people. They got day guards. They not finna open their mouth against them. That's how they let you make money. Yes, sir. I'd have been rich if I sell out to them. Yep. If I bow down to them, they'll let me be rich. Yep. I just don't agree with it. As a man, I just like the freedom of just being who I am. That's all. I just like the freedom of just being. And everybody, you know, they say freedom of expression. I don't need no clothes. They'll get you to buy these clothes, freedom of expression. I don't need no clothes, freedom of expression. Freedom of expression is you being exemplified who you are without injuring other people. Y'all got it? There's some people, like, when they come down, them like, I want to be who I am, but it's wind up being detrimental to other people. Now, am I telling you that us being a nation won't affect other people? I will be telling you a lie. It will affect them. That's why they won't let you be one now. You need the truth. Let me ask y'all something. Let me see. Let me see. Yahusha. What do we know him for? Salvation. Salvation. We know him for dying. That's how you got it. You understand how you got it? How you got it? There is no salvation without death. That's all. Okay. When we came out of Mizraim, nothing died. What happened? The children died. How did you come out of Mizraim? How did the Civil War end? What happened during the Civil War? Why would you think that they're just going to let you walk out of here? Why do you think they're going to just get? There has never been an issue where salvation had ever been instituted without death. It's never happened. At least you put on the table, you're honest with people. I just want to be honest with you. Do you know the book, through his fall, that's how you got rich? Which means if he fell, I got rich. What was he before he fell? Which means in order for me to become rich, what he had to do? Be rich too? The book says he had to become poor. There is no way for us to become a nation and not affect other nations. Because now you're asking for your part. Now you're coming in what they would call the prodigal child. That's what he came. He wanted to get all his then. They say he went out and wasted it. Better me than you. He done wasted it. Why? It'd be better. I would feel better if I had it myself, though. I don't know how I feel better with him with it than me. He tried to teach you through the story that you shouldn't have what belonged to you because all you'll do is mess it up. He had it, and I'm still messed up. I'd have felt better it'd been me. So I got to get my people to come to some rationality to agree that we need to talk. We don't just need nobody going out and speaking for us. We need to sit down and we need to communicate. We need to express. We need to give people a time enough to hear what's the cause. What are we trying to do? How is this going to help every man, everyone? We need something that helps every man and every woman to give you a free opportunity. Now, if you refuse to pull yourself up, then failure's for you. But when you have every opportunity allotted to you to make it, no excuse. If I see a brother on the street, homeless, who won't do that, and we set up and establish that, that's because that's what you want to do. That's called, I'm not going to make you do right. You got to want to do it for yourself. We have enough of our people to inspire that. Why y'all think a lot of people get out the rat race? Some of these people were in it on a corporate level. You know, they realize everybody cheats and liars. You're not going to win. They're going to block you. They're going to make you submit to them. They'll take your stuff. Listen, Bill Gates was the first perfect example to show you they'll block you even if you're white. He popped out with Microsoft. He was rolling. He had too much stuff. Bill Clinton broke him down. Yes, see, they're young. They don't know nothing about that. Yes, they broke him up. They said, no, you can't even say a monopoly. They broke him down and broke him up. You rarely start hearing from him. They push him out the way. You know how they do it? They brought him right in the court system. Broke him down, broke the company up, split it up so you can't do it. Yes, that's how they're going to get you every time. They're going to block you. They're going to shut you down. They're going to ruin your life. Jeff Bezos, maybe they came out after him. Look how they started when they first broke up. They broke his marriage up. It's personal with them. Decided to pay somebody to hack your phone and pull pictures of you and your girlfriend. Y'all didn't see when he interviewed? He said, I already know who did it. Wasn't nobody but the Saudis. He said the Saudis paid somebody to hack my phone. To get this stuff out my phone, cost them his marriage. Still blow back up Amazon. Look at it now. Amazon dropping down. They saw Amazon taking over. You know the threat? There was a threat to UPS. There was a threat to FedEx. Okay. Let me see. UPS said they finna start sharing some of their facilities. Had FedEx said we're gonna start sharing some of our facilities. Anybody who wanna rent some space from us? Or maybe just Amazon. Because the man moved. See, these people will not allow you but to spend but so far. You need to know. See, this is all I'm trying to tell y'all. I try to move on. Because I don't know. Or maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know. Y'all want to hire another preacher? Because I'm losing my mind. What is wrong with us having a fair opportunity? Why can't somebody give us a chance to show our own merit versus what people heard about us? The black man sorry. The nigga steal. The nigga a lie. The nigga won't work. Come on, we had a chance to really prove ourselves. Our kids need to see us doing these things, and we are doing them. But you got to look at what he's saying about them. The image of the people he's showing ain't us. Listen, between disease, poverty, economics, education, homosexuality, you're done. You can't win that fight. It's impossible. Same thing for any one of these countries you see up on the end of the other country, none of them are prospering. Go through any island, any of these territories, any of these colonies that are under any one of these oppressive governments from England, France, who else you got? The Spaniards, they lost Puerto Rico. They'll speak Spanish, they lost them. Any one of them, you find any people on the island, they're not prospering. Go to Jamaica, British. I know they're going to holler they free. They're not free. You can go there and enjoy the beaches. You can go and stay in the resort. That money don't go to them people. There's nobody prospering on these people. We ain't going to never be nobody under them. Just anybody know what? Stop. I want y'all to help me. I want to help. Can y'all hear me? Can somebody name one of these South American countries or one of these colonies that's under one of these governments? France, that's under, Haiti. They destroyed Haiti. They destroyed it. Listen, and then they are the first black group, quote unquote, that's what they'll tell you, that deliver themselves. Our people always been revolted. First people, how is the country doing? Got a point. Worse in the Western Hemisphere. See, and guess what they do? That's to give them a bad look. Because now when you go through your history book, you say, you know what? The Haitians delivered themselves from them. Then you look at the Haitian. What's the connotation to the Haitian? Poor. Stank, poor, kill, everybody Zopound, voodoo. Right. So how much does that inspire you being a person of color to be like the Haitians? Because they're more negativity than positive. Their country only in ruins because of the oppressive French. Because of the other, don't you know they make you pay when you liberate yourself from them? They tried to, listen, the Haitians tried to help other countries over there to liberate themselves. That's why the Dominican Republic doing so well. They slaves. They slaves. They tried to liberate. Y'all didn't know. You know about that, don't you? Dominicans don't really favor Haitians. They don't like them. They don't like them. And Dominican Republic is doing better than Haiti because they love their master. They love their master. They'll let them flirt. I mean, they ain't doing no better than nobody else, but they're going to be doing better than them. So when the Haitians come and say, listen, come on, I can help y'all. We can liberate ourselves. Y'all poor niggas. Y'all sick niggas, all them earthquakes in there. These folks have a piece of equipment. Do me a favor. I want you to look this up for me. Let me see. Oh, I forgot that senator name. We looked up before. When they talked about HARP, and before the Senate brought them in, I think it was in the 1990s. I forgot the senator's name. They brought them in, and they had a hearing, and they interviewed them on, is there a machine that the government have to control weather? I want y'all to see it. Do y'all know this was on what was this on? C-SPAN. Did y'all know this was on here? They interviewed him, and they questioned, and they asked him. They said, is it true the government has a machine to control the weather? He said, yes, sir, we have. Did y'all know that? You don't think, why all the earthquakes ain't happening to him? Yep. Much like, do y'all know that these white folk have a machine to control the weather? Yes, sir. Okay, y'all believe, listen, this is in the Senate. This is not overseas. That happened right here in America. Why ain't nobody talking about it? That he was brought in and he testified before the Senate, yes, we have a machine to control the weather. Look at all the folks, North Korea, everybody, all these folks flood. Look at him. Look at country that's suffering. Y'all don't think it's odd that China getting 500,000 COVID cases a day? Wearing masks everywhere they go. They have 500,000 cases a day. Not 500, not 35, 500,000 cases a day. And you know what it is? Population control. India, mudslide. India got protests. You know why? Population control. They need these people to get rid of, they got too many people. They learned from your book when Gideon, when he was going down to fight, he told them that the people were yet too many. Break them down to 300. Then the whites came along and gave you a movie called The 300s. And you loved it, didn't you? Gideon did it with 300 men. Just so the Romans can look better. That's how they get you every time. They steal your stuff, and then, I watched that movie. I love 300. Wasn't no niggas in it, was it? How many was in there? Oh, the Persian? So they admit the Persian, which is actually Pyra. Reason why I don't know, I ain't watch it. Did the niggas win? How I know that? Go ahead there. He said they again. What happened now? They won that battle, but they didn't win the war. And that's how they get you. They ain't give up. Where they at now? Ain't no nigga Persians now. Those are Iranians. Most of y'all don't know what Persian, what they call Persian. Those are Iranian people. They are Persians, which their actual name is Pyra. You served under them. You didn't know that? Yes, sir. The Medes. All those people you look at, and they'll tell you about Persia, we served under them. The man Chorus, who wrote the letters saying that we could build our cities, and they had our goal. Remember, there was search and inquisition made concerning all our goods we read last night. They said, let's go into his palace, and let's make inquisition and find out where the gold's at. Let's go find the books, because they're in Iran. Why y'all think Iran got so many sanctions on them? Y'all don't think that's odd they got all them sanctions on them in Iran? Y'all don't think that's odd Iran can't trade? Don't y'all know if Iran trade on the global market, what it'll do to the Saudis? What it'll do to the oil market? They want a nuclear weapon. Talking about like everybody else got one. They can't allow them to get a nuclear weapon. Your information, let me ask y'all a question. How many of y'all know, quote unquote, black people that travel and go places? Or known them? How many of them told you, yeah, I'm going to Iran? What kind of vacation spot would that be? In a place that will have your knowledge? In a place that will have some of your writings? A place that will have historical place where you actually lived at? We don't have no conversation. Nobody going to the place. Nobody want to look. You know where you're going. We always go to the island. Somewhere we ain't from. Always run somewhere to, and we run to the island. Nigga never run nowhere to go look at his information. You want to go, how many of y'all know, yeah, I'm going to go to Turkey. What is your imagery of Turkey? Hot, sand blowing everywhere, niggas walking around with sandals on, everybody stinking. Think about every image you got of these places. These people, listen, these people have corporations. They have white businesses in these places. White people just don't show it to us. They will never show you what they have in these places. Whenever they show you Iraq, it's going to be folk walking around with some guns, some kid looking crazy, some folk. You believe that? And Halliburton over there? Right. These folk getting double the pay to be here? Listen, Afghanistan, all they're going to show you the worst of it. These people have cities. They never show you in Africa. When they show you cities in Africa? They show you niggas out under the tree with flies on their eyebrows, ain't got no clothes, lip all busted up, woman tit hanging out here on her lap. She started running, sound like horsey galloping. That's every time you sit. That's all they show you. Ray, you might decide about them titties on that lap and everything. Ray, you get a chance, try putting a check by your name. They won't hang on people sexually oververted. But I'm just telling you, what do you think the whole situation is with trying to show you negative stuff about yourself? Say what now?
I said they don't show that no more. They got too many rappers going over there now.
Too many rappers. A lot of our people done left and went. They don't even show you how many people left and went to Ghana. It ain't just Ghana. Listen, they going to a whole bunch of places. Some in Guyana. It's a lot of our people have left here and they're starting to do business in other countries. They won't show it to us though. And the only thing about it when we go to these countries, and we need to, when we meet and we talk, once we can get ourselves on the same platform, I believe it's going to happen. Maybe not in my day. These young people, they tell me they're going to keep pushing though, right? I'm counting. Who you going to be doing it for? They're going to be for yourself. And helping what we talking about doing, you're going to be essentially helping yourself. No more help somebody else. I want you to help yourself. You making that progressive stand, to stand up and be aggressive and make sure this is being done and make sure this is implemented is helping yourself. So you be a fool not to be out there and support it. See, my people be a fool not to support what I'm doing. I'm not telling them to help me do nothing. I'm telling you to do it because you'll be helping you. If you get every man out there and every man know his cause is he helping himself, then you can't turn them around where they say, oh, you helping him. No, I'm helping me. Y'all got it? This is for your future. This is to secure your future and your right to live. But once we can talk and once we can come up with this plan and we can get our people, I'm sure it's going to probably take a lot of meeting with our people to get them to a point of understanding. And we have to just deal with the basics and then bloom from there. Then we need to talk to a Kibalan that they call Africa. We need to talk. We need to talk about how we got the short end of the stick. We do. We need to talk about the reparation that they getting and how you get reparation, we don't get it. I don't know how you could, when you go and you say that you're from a Kibalan and you say you're there at the United Nations and you're demanding reparation, I don't know how anything come out your mouth and ain't mentioned. Yeah. I just need to know if we need to cut ties too with you. Yeah. I'm flat. Because if you saying reparation, when the United Nations say, what are you asking reparation for? And you don't mention me, yeah, I'll vote no for you. That's right. I don't know how you can have a conversation and not mention me. If you name any resources, it's got to be me. Yeah. If you name land taken, it's got to be me. Yeah. I don't know how you can have a conversation and I'm not included. That's right. That's why we need to talk. Before they go and start talking that, we need to talk. Because you need us at that table. Yep. We don't need nobody going there talking about, go in there and talk for. No. Nope. We're going to be talking. Yes, sir. I think, listen, all our people need to be there. Listen, it need to be me without walls. Yes, sir. I don't want to have no private meeting with nobody about nothing we doing. Yep. Let's just do this. Let's just me and you. I already know how that's going. Let's not do that. Everybody here, it don't need to be nothing secret. Everything on the table. That's the offer I got for my people. You don't need me come out to my, you know, I was thinking about it. The Lord laid some in my spirit. Said, nigga, I'm finna lay some in this grass. Yeah. Yeah. Starting with you, nigga. And then you don't cut one of them deals. No deal cut. That's the only way to keep it clean. Everybody need to sit. Everybody need to hear. Well, see, typically we don't do business like that. Well, that's how we're going to start doing it. One of them fell inside the garbage can. That's what I'm saying. I knew it was going to happen. Y'all ain't humpback? I mean, fell over in the garbage can. You think I know when we bought that garbage can that I thought a grown man was going to fall in it? Painted, but yeah, they're going to wait to dust him off. Get that brown tissue off his back. Oh, my goodness. That's the wrong way. There's a bloop, it just went over in it. No, but, you know, if we could do that, I won't be honest with y'all, we would need to talk to keep alive. Because I'm being honest with y'all, we can't do that by ourselves. They can't do what they're doing by themselves. Everybody need to be included. Everybody need to have a part. And we need to make sure. My proposal is every boy, every girl, every man, every woman, we all walk away with something. We don't need no other. Let's just make sure. No. Every boy, every girl, every man, every woman. That's how it need to be. That'll be it. That's the only way to be fair. Only way to get our people. Why would you go if you ain't getting nothing? Why would you go? I said, go to the store and buy me something. I ain't getting you no gas. I ain't offering to buy you nothing. Why you going? It'd be different you going that way. You say I don't want nothing. But at least the offer need to be there if you're going. Shouldn't you get something? Shouldn't you be offered something? How they going to go to their meet and we ain't included? What could you possibly say to these people that could convince them and say, you know what, you're right, we owe you money. And they don't say, and them too. Sir?
They getting climate change reparations.
A climate change representative. Listen, I still going to be included. Your air didn't get messed up till I got gone. Yeah. You brought them little no white folks in there. You should have let me stay. My nose can circulate and take that air and put the good air back out there for you. Climate change, I'm in that lawsuit too. They ain't got no, I don't know what you can have. It's not a conversation they can have with them people that don't involve us. What you going, what? They say they stole the fruit. Here I am. Here I am. We the fruit of the loom. I don't know what these folks thinking about. What conversation could they possibly have with the United Nations about reparation that don't include us? They need to stand and they need to confess their sin. Yep. We need to confess ours. Yep. They need to confess their sin. That, you know, let me ask something. How many of y'all here parent? How many of y'all can sit back and turn your back and watch somebody take your kid off? I ain't talking about the jail. I ain't talking about up the street. I'm talking about take your kid off and you will never, ever see them again. Death is the most imminent thing for them, and you sat there, and you know that. That's what they did. That's what they did. Everybody need to be held accountable. You want reparation from UN? We want reparation from you too. Everybody got to pay up. It ain't going to be fair to go talk to the white man. Let me tell you how they work, okay? I go to the bank. I steal some money. Me and some other people. Some in the car. Some came in. And they catch me. You think they're going to be satisfied they just locked me up? What, huh? Restitution? They're going to want to know who else was with me. Y'all telling me if 4 of us, we in a bank, we robbed this bank, getaway car, everybody going out get caught. This is not going to be topic of discussion? Or they going to say, we good, we got him. We ain't worried about nothing else. That's what I'm telling y'all about blaming all this on the white man. I need co-conspirators. I need planners. I need drivers. I need to find, listen, I need to know how this happens. It's no way possible. It's no way. Every time I come, I'm going to hit you. Every time I come by him. Every time I come by him, I'm going to hit you. Every time. Every time I come by you, I'm going to hit. Nothing tells you to stop this. Nothing tells you there needs to be a defense. Especially when it's injuring you. Nothing tells you to stop this. I don't hear about no African institution. I don't hear about no university. I don't hear about no common sense can tell you to stop this. That means you were with them. That's all I'm saying. I just need all the guilty parties. I don't want to put all this on the white man. He's not smart enough to have done it by himself. I give him too much credit. Huh? Y'all saw Godfather that time? When Salasso shot the Godfather? He told him, he said, I wouldn't go back. He said, you give me too much credit. I'm not that smart. I wouldn't try to do it a second time. See, he told him, Salasso told it was other, guess what? The Godfather told him. He let him know who did it. It was other people who were involved. This was not a one-man show. He said, no. He learned right then it were other people involved. For the so-called Negro to say that everything that fell on him came from the white man and for him to be blindly stupid. Keebalon played a part of this. There are other countries that help cover this up. I need co-conspirators. That's all I need. I need the co-conspirators. It's only one. If we're going to be fair, let's not talk about fair. We ain't going to be fair. Let's do something different. I need all parties. And I'm going to need restitution from every one of them. Y'all hear me? Are y'all with? I just want to tell y'all where my head at. Did it make sense? Y'all tell me. Let me say that. It don't make sense. What y'all think? Should we go to one person? Always saying we need all guilty parties. That's the only way we're going to get this thing right. If we find out somebody, just hypothetically find out Carrie was a part. So what we should do? Forgive Carrie and keep moving? Because we do that, we need to do that for them too. The same, whatever the punishment that we saying should happen to these people, same punishment we saying should happen to Carrie. Let's be fair. Someone say, well, let's try not to do that with our own people. Then let's not do nothing. It don't make sense to establish and say a fairness and you're going to come along and you're going to cut deals with your own people. It's got to be right. If anything, hypothetically, Carrie was the person, I say Carrie get more time than any white man. Listen, the only way you're going to drive that out from your own people manipulating you, being you got to make it harder for them. If I say a white man that will rape a black woman should go to prison, then a black man that rape a black woman, he need the death penalty. They say, I don't see that way. We got to stop it. Because if anybody should know our struggle, you ain't going to believe it. A black man, I'm just hypothetical, probably got a black mama. So when you later you rape that sister, that's equivalent to raping your mama. And we don't see no sense to keep you among us when that's the type of mentality you got. We got to hold our people accountable. How you going to get dignity? Listen, we lost it. The only way to get it back, we got to put something on to make sure that give you accountability. We can't let you just live and do and there'll be no accountability. That's right. That's just my thinking. I'm interested to just see where my people at. I said, every boy, every girl, every man, every woman. That's how we do it. Nobody left behind. Every boy, every girl, every man, every woman. If you're a he, she, we don't have nothing for you. Every boy, every girl. That's it. Every man, every woman. They're the only four I'm working for. Now, if you got something else going on, that's something you need to deal with. Every boy, every girl, every man, every woman. That's what we got. That should cover. That should cover. Any sexual orientation, that's something you deal with on your own. That's your own problem. I ain't trying to make nobody be straight. If that's something in you and that's what you want to do, just know we ain't accepting it. I want to agree to it. I ain't giving you no license. I ain't going to help support. I'm not going to do it because I don't believe in it. We need that right. We're not going to build no system up where we're going to sit around. We can't say what white is white, black is black. A boy ain't a boy and a girl ain't a girl. I don't agree with it. That's stupid. Right. That's stupid. To live that long, you can't tell a man he a man. You can't. How we get that stupid? How do we get introduced to somebody tell me I can look at a woman and I can't say she a woman because that's offensive? That is dumb. Who comes up with this stuff? That's to break you down, take away the freedom of your thinking and freedom of speech. You tell them they ain't freedom of speech. They're trying to make it where it's criminal. If I meet a young lady, I say, how you doing, ma'am? What you call me? Ma'am, I'm finna sue you. Because you just offended me. I'm not a ma'am. So what happened to freedom of speech? What happened to freedom of speech? So now freedom of speech will become a crime. Yeah. Okay. Y'all stay with the sister. Who you think gonna be the people they're gonna be locking up? White folk? Nope. They got your little piss Pope Benedict. He done died. Yeah. Man, listen. You know what's sad? These folks come out and celebrate. Listen, this what I know. I don't know nobody who could be the head of a child sex trafficking organization and still be revered and honored. So the man set over the largest child sex trafficking organization in the world, which is the cap. Okay. Yes, there is no larger sex trafficking of kids than the Catholic Church. There is none. There's not more sexually offended kids than the Catholic Church. And yet white people still pay money to it. They still pray to it. They still give homage to it, and they still allow this in. Why the feds ain't went shut it down? That's right. Why these folks ain't been arrested? They got investigations, city. Why these folks ain't been stopped? That's right. Who don't know this? Everybody knows. I can't have a wife, but I can have sex with your kid. Why is this okay? The God I serve, what they say? He don't want me to have no wife. He want me to sleep with these boys. Are you sick? The fact that people sit in this stuff. Oh. But he didn't die as the Pope. He had to step down in 2013. What was the reason? Sick. That was that. That was not the reason why. He was the reason why he had to step down because he tried to bring back in the pious boys. This was an organization that came out and made a statement. Y'all know what the statement was? The Holocaust didn't exist. They said, these are older white men that said that the Holocaust didn't exist. You ain't gonna believe it. I've been told y'all that. The stuff they put on Hitler didn't happen. These folks are liars. These folks have perpetrated. Why you think it's criminal they fight you if you say the Holocaust don't exist? How much stuff they say about it don't exist? Why you don't go to jail for it? When we say stuff, why nobody don't go to jail for that? Why we can't sue? Right. They stop you, they'll imprison you, just like the vaccine when you say something about. Why? Yep. Because things are being exposed. Yep. I'll go see what happened. That's what happened. Of course he got sick. And matter of fact, when he got sick, he said, I'm going to go in seclusion, never to be seen no more. Would that make sense? Never to be seen no more? Because they got him for it. They let him know, you can't do that. Now, you can tell him the white boy boot up. You can get all the booty you want, but we can't afford it. Because now, when you start saying this ain't exist, y'all know how much money these people got behind this story? These folks got a country behind the lie. Yes, sir. And guess they're going to call the big lie? The election. The big lie. Ain't no lie bigger than the Holocaust. That's just behind it. I don't know why people not conscious. Look at these people. This is how powerful these people. Listen, the Catholic Church, being the Pope of the Catholic Church, do y'all understand how powerful this is? You ain't got a South American country ain't Christian. You can run through them. Them little boys all year. You know what they do? They go to places. They stick them little Catholic schools. Yes, sir. They get them nuns. Yep. Little hot nun. Yep. Look at them little young, little scintillation, little 5-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. Old Pope sitting up there. Yep. And old pickle get hard when they see them little boy get on you. Why I got to get on my knee for them to put in my mouth? Right. Get on your knee. Beg for it. They put their Alka-Seltzer in your mouth. People don't want to tell how perverted these people are. Why you can't pick them and put your own in your mouth? I don't feel right but you hold my Alka-Seltzer. Right. I got to get on my knee if you put it in my mouth. He said, I open your mouth. Oh, yeah, there you go. You're going to get another one later. Come on, this little boy. What is the purpose of this? Why won't grown people say, ho, why he on their knees? Why ain't they in front of your penis? You little sexual pervert? Yep. They love them. They'll send their kid right back. Mom and dad want to talk about it because they're going to cover the Catholic Church. Got to protect the Catholic Church. Catholic Church sacred. Mary with him. All the other folk with him. They just keep passing the lie. And nobody can say nothing about it. It's sad. All these people have done with Christianity is hurt you. Most of your destruction have come through their religion. That's how you get medicated, through their religion. When these people sit in them churches, they'll do food feedings through them. They'll do, okay. Listen, it's always one of these organizations, the Christian organization, that come over giving out clothes. They did that to the Indians, and that's how they got smallpox. They always want to medicate you. That's how you wind up getting the syphilis. They pose under Christianity. They'll put the white on, put the nursing hat, and yet they'll put the cross up there. Nobody pay attention to the cross. It got a snake wrapped around it. Y'all never paid attention to that cross on them? Yes, the medical alert bracelet. Look at it. That's why the snake wrapped around it. That's how they see, they took it from us. When our people murmured and grumbled when Yahusha brought them out, they murmured, and Yahuwah sent fiery Nakash. The word is Nakash for serpents. And they bit the people. And when they bit the people, Elohim told Yahusha to take a brass serpent. Take a piece of brass and make it into a serpent, and he want him to nail it to a stick. And he want him to hold it up. And whoever was bit by the serpent, if they looked on it, they'll be healed. This is how they get you. Y'all ain't never know that they give you this medical alert bracelet, and every time, watch a doctor jacket, watch it. You're going to see it. You're going to see the snake wrapped around it. He's trying to tell you to look at me, I can heal you. And he used it because this was something that you had. He used it against you. He used your own stuff against you. And guess what happens when they go to the doctor? Whatever you say, doc. You the doctor. I don't know nothing. What I need to take? 15 medication? Yes, sir, doc. What, doc? He got you to trust him. See, he plays on you. He know you have a sympathy for a deity. Y'all got it? And he plays on you. He comes to you looking as though he's helping you, and the whole time he in disguise. He coming to hurt you. Everything he describes, he's going to hurt. He can't prescribe one medication that can attack one illness. Whatever it'll attack is going to kill something else too. There's no way to take one medication and not be two. You cannot take two and it's not going to be four. Listen, watch old people. They start with a pill, then they got a tray. Days of the week. Because what he gives you is going to take out something else. That's why he's against you getting natural healing. It keeps you away from your Elohim. See, when you get back to nature and you learn there is not a sickness or disease that you can catch without there being a cure. Think about this. Let's do this. Anything you can catch is inside the rocks, which means it stems from something. Right. Anything that can heal it is inside the rocks. Right. He only lets you get the sickness of what's in your rocks. Yep. He never lets you get the healing. Right. See, when you were put in Jerusalem, you were put there for a reason. The place was designated on feeding you and your health. He moved you out so you couldn't get well. Why you think we stay sick? It was to make you desire to be back where you get your healing from. Right. That's the whole purpose of why you want to get back. Listen, I don't care what we take, what we do, and how we exercise. It can only do so much. Because if it can work for us out here, there's no reason to desire to be with him. Y'all got it? He said, I'm Yahuwah that, what did he say you do? Heal what? Well, I be taking some stuff, and I don't get sick, and I'm well, and I don't nobody around me get sick. Why would I want Yahuwah? The proposal he gave me when he introduced himself was, I heal all your diseases. Who would he be talking to? Sick people. So it makes sense when he came, he said he came to the halt, the lame, the blind, the crippled. Who gonna want me? People that need me. He tried to convince you with his system that he can do all these same things. He can't. It's an illusion. It's a mirage. He can't heal himself. We'll tell it like they told Yahusha, physician, heal yourself. Tell your doctor, heal yourself. Say, would you take this stuff? Do you take it? They don't. They'll give it to you. You are the experimental monkey. He put names and titles on stuff. He know you can't read it. There's no way you can look all that stuff up. You got to go on a special medical book. How many of they got that special medical book to look it up? All you know is he gave it to you or she gave it to you and you trust them. Yep. That's how they get you. They dupe you every time in everything you do. Now I got to come along and try to open your eyes. So I should apologize, but I won't. I should leave it alone, but I won't. My people dying. All we want is our fair shake. Y'all hear me? That's all we want, our fair shake. Y'all young people, I know y'all like to play, y'all like to do things. In a few years, y'all will be adults, and you'll be out here in this rat race, and everything I'm telling you, you're going to see it. They're going to be full force from these people. And if you're the only person standing, your own people going to ostracize you. Your own people going to box you and make you like a fool and make you like you some kind of conspiracy theorist. This ain't no conspiracy theories. This is facts, what I'm telling y'all. Did you find that video? Oh, let's look at it. Y'all mind looking at that video right quick? Before I do that, let them go ahead and sign the Kato Sarah. Come on. Let's see that video right quick. We got to say fair use, fair play. So y'all can write down, look up your own date. Y'all see that U.S. Congress hearing, June 16, 1995, Robert Fletcher? Y'all see who was holding it? Y'all see it was in Britain, England? The hearing was held by the Senate. The Senate brought him in to ask him about this. Right here in good old America. Go ahead.
Sure. Another question in an interview with the Los Angeles Times on April 21st, you said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has created weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest. Would you explain what you were trying to say?
Well, what I was trying to say is exactly what I said. There is weather control techniques. We have a complete package on that, which I did not bring, but I certainly will see to it that it is brought in for the record. Number one, the entire patents on the equipment. Number two, Senator Claiborne Pell's complete statement and story of his own that not only does it exist, but that we even utilize it as far back as the Vietnam War. You might want to touch base with Senator Pell.
I just want to repeat before I turn to...
So yes, but we do have all that information.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans...
Worldwide.
Millions of Americans, and to control the rest.
Yes, sir, and that's my belief. As bizarre as that sounds, if somebody had told me that that equipment even existed 10 years ago, I would have thought they were nuts, sir. And at this point in time, we have all the documents to prove it. And if you think that 85 tornadoes takes place in the middle of our growing area by simultaneous accident, I'm sorry. With the equipment that's already set up internationally, and as bizarre as that is, it is proven and documented. We will supply you with those documents. As bizarre as that is, I would say that weather wars, and this is quoting actually Senator Claiborne Pell himself, that they are the greatest weapon ever created in the world, and that's the senator's own statement. So yes, I do stand on that.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
They were using it in the Vietnam War. How many of my kids don't know when the Vietnam War was, when they started? This was back in the 1960s. This is him testifying about it in 1995. In the 1960s, before I was living, I'm 54, they had machines where they were controlling weather in Vietnam. What did he told you they were going to do? Worldwide, and you heard what the white man kept asking him? Starve millions of America. He said worldwide. He said starving millions of America. What did he tell you that he didn't tell you that he told you? I'll tell you, I don't give a damn about nobody else. Yeah. The man clearly told him, he said worldwide, he said millions of Americans. Why do you think the Senate brought them in? Because they heard, no doubt people leaked this to them, telling them, listen, they're going to kill millions. Do y'all not know Africa is on the verge? They're having 20 million so-called black people that are going to die. 20 million so-called Africans are going to die from starvation this year. Explain to me how a place to name Africa actually supposed to mean corn and fruit. How do you starve in the name of your country from the term Africa meaning corn and fruit? How you do that? White people. Y'all do the math. That's in 1995. I already told y'all, listen, they're going to control people. They know that when you start starving, you'll give up your rights, you'll give up your sanctity, you'll give up your sexuality. All these guys, how many of y'all guys, you ain't finna be gay? Let me see. I'm with them. Listen, we ain't been hungry yet. I ain't talking about hunger like I need to get something to eat, ain't ate in a couple of hours. When them days, weeks, and months come in, gotta hold the ankles. Nigga gotta eat. Listen, food, they practice they practice this same technique on the Iraqis. How many of y'all were living in the first Iraqi war? How long did that war take? What it took, about 2-3 years? And how exactly did it work? Starved them. They starved them. The soldiers all came in. So let the young folks, they came in like they with their weapons, handing them in. Straight in with their gun. They put their gun down, they get a packet of food. Let's see it. That's how they're gonna get, that's what they're gonna do to y'all. You'll see it. Mm-hmm. Oh, about the drought, about the climate reparation. This is the problem you got. He told that's what the climate reparation about. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sue America for climate reparation because of the droughts they did. So if the land's still dry, what I'm gonna do with 300? What I'm gonna do with the money? Once you send another storm through there, what I'm gonna do with the money? I need that damn machine.
Yeah, that's right. Yes,
I need that damn machine cut off. What is the money gonna do? You see how people, we don't think. This is reason for war. If you look at that, I got all these starving kids. And you know, look how they made Africa look on now. Can we see one of them little African video how them kids look? And how the folk look? I just listen, how many black kids say yeah, I want to go to Africa? You're like, Africa? Man, them people sick, them people dying, they starving, they hungry, and these bastards hold the machine to do that to them? And you don't think they'll do it to you? Y'all stay on me. You be a good one. You go ahead and be the best American you can be. They're going to let you make it, long as you'll pray to their God. Long as you'll let them, you keep your mouth shut, they'll keep you around a little while. I know what you're saying. You don't want to find they're going to kill Tony Smith. I'm going to die a man, though. I'm not going to let no man son starve me out. I can't do it. That's crazy. No, he said the good man of the house had known we'll watch the thief were coming. He would have watched. He wouldn't have suffered his house to be broken up. Why would I let you come to my house and break up my house? I know you coming. And guess what you got to ask yourself about Africa? Two things. They're not good men, or you close your eyes on them. Dave, you just left in a ship with them. You back again, Dave. Dave, you back again. Dave, every time you come, I'm losing people and goods, Dave. We got to cut this off. I can't let you come back no more. There's no way in the world. Do y'all know how many people they'll count these folks for moving from Africa? 150 million people would make no sense. There's no way possible. These folks come with 150 million people on a wooden ship. Not with no hands, rowing with no hands. Don't believe these people. These folks now are astronomically just retarded. These folks ain't moved that many folks. We were already over here. These folks beat us and manipulate us. We've been here. You would come in through Canada. We've been coming. Listen, what it was. People came in, the Vikings. They came in through Minnesota. We've been here. People been coming through here way before white folks come. You don't think it's amazing that Minnesota football team called the Vikings, because the Vikings came in. They've been coming through here. This is not their country. These people liars. That's amazing. I wonder how Louisiana wound up being called a French Quarter and how the French had it. The French had this before they even came. White people tell lies. How you discover somewhere and how the French had it. How is Washington, D.C. the District of Columbia? Folks, just stop. You can't be that stupid. How could they discover it and Washington, D.C. stand for the District of Columbia? I'm so confused. Oh, let them see that right here. Look how, this is how they do it.
الذي جعل الاسلام الهروب وضربة العرب المسلمين هذا الطاهر وانتم تعتبرون الجيش العراقي حياكم الله الان اعلى.
That's in white rag.
العراقيون أيها الجنود الآن محاصرون كفوا عن المقاومة وتقدموا تجاه ندائي.
That's what they gave up for right now. So how they giving them guns back?
أسلحتكم في الميدان وتقدموا تجاه ندائي.
Y'all see them people coming in behind them to rescue them? Look, they finna come and rescue them, look. That's all I'm trying to get you to say. That's how you beat them. You don't think that was a practice for you? They'll starve you out. They know you can only hold out so long with water. Food, you can push it 40 days, but you be so weak and malnutrition, the water gonna kill you. You saw them people came in, them were soldiers. They never had a war where soldiers just walk up and shake hands and do that. They do when they're starving. That was the test dummy for us. They're gonna starve you out. They're going to take you out with the water. Flint, Michigan. All they've been doing is running tests on you. You just ain't had enough brain to realize it. Everything they've been doing has been a test. Water poison, it should be in white communities drinking it too. How only the major city in Jackson in Mississippi, the only people getting bad water? These are practice tests. These ain't the only cities. City of Atlanta got bad water. Most of these for the city of Atlanta water bad. Our people don't know no better. Listen, let me tell you what white people know that you don't know. I'll lay out of something. There's going to be a race war. White people know it because they're the people provoking it. And they're not stupid. All of their great so-called white men have told them through history. Then Johnson told them, he said, you put a man on the ground and keep your knee in his neck for 400-some years. He said, what you think he going to do when he get up? He said, he going to knock your block off. You know when Lyndon Johnson told him that? As the king was killed, they started burning them buildings down. They went to Johnson. Johnson told him, you done had your knee in their neck for that long. What did you think they were going to do when they get up? So you know what white people been looking at? I got to make sure when they get up, they're real weak. I make sure they're real fragile. I need to make sure they prone to catch disease and illness. I got to make sure they can't, what is it? I'm trying to think of, bring your energy level. What is it we look at? Your libido is weak. A lot of stuff to drive. Look at, I'm telling you something. The Arab black man, they ain't got no drive. I'm being honest with you, they don't. Listen, all these folks I see now, these are whole nother people. I never seen people like that. I'm being honest with you, they ain't got no drive. It's no drive for our people. We got some, but I'm talking about as a mass group, man, it'd be shame he wasn't doing that, other men doing something. Make him shame. There ain't no shame now. It's what it is. He don't mind being a bum. You never seen teenage bums. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to do nothing. There's no drive. They know they weaken the men and make the women look like they stronger. You can't win no war with these people. They're going to kill our women. They get them in here and make them think you're a fighter. You're not no fighter. You bleed once a month. You got a wound before you can get shot. We ain't got no business. No, listen, no self-respecting military put women in it. They can take what they want to. If I put a woman down, I'm giving you a typewriter. I'm giving you a needle. I'm going to give you some bandages. I'm not giving you no gun to go out there and fight no another man. That man gets out, he going to rape you, he going to hurt you. I don't care what training you got. A woman ain't got a chance with no man. That's stupid. I wouldn't put a woman on the police for. I put it out. You gonna be typing, filing paper. They call it what they. What a blood dripper got to be in and running, jumping over no gate, trying to run down no man. Soon they get whooped up. I got to spend more officers to run to your call. I don't have time. You cost me too much money on the street. Well, soon as the woman get down here, soon as the woman get, how many folks got to come? One more call. Everything we got. Now I got real crime going, trying to bail you out. You know what they do? Give me that gun. Give her ass an iPad. Now go and get that paperwork filed. I need a man on a man. I need a man with a man. I need to mess this nigga up. This nigga criminal, this nigga here violent, this nigga here crazy. He needs to see a man. Come on, she's up here clicking her nails. This tall, gun hanging down here. Man, that man finna take your gun. Now I got a nigga on the loose with a gun. Trying to worry about how to fix her hair and her bobby pins got to be in. No, got time for that stuff. I need a nigga out there on the gun. I let him know, sir, you tried, I'm going to kill you. And then let him be like, I got you, dog. Go on, lay down and then put these cuffs on, otherwise it's going to go bad for you. They don't put no woman. Every time you put them out here, the man got to go out here and bail them out. They know that. Let me ask you something. Woman, they put a woman getting whooped up. How many more officers come? One more officer? How many they had wind up having to send? He said, this many. I'm being honest with you, it's more cost to have them. When that period come on, they can't get out the car, they ain't feeling good. Same thing in the military. They can't go. Do y'all know how much exercise they get out by claiming period is on? The government can't do nothing with them. All they got how they period on, they not going to the field. And soon as something happens, they ain't ready. Because she don't spend the whole time hollering her period. I'm being honest, it's certain things a woman shouldn't be in that condition. I would never, it ain't, they're thinking, oh, he thinking, yeah, that means I'm just stupid enough to think a woman is a female. I am, and that's on me for being so stupid. That's crazy. A boy don't need to play with no doll. We play with action figures. Man, what time? Yo, let me see your doll. That's an action figure. You don't walk up and tell no kid he got no doll. That's an action figure. He don't move like no female. I wouldn't buy no girl no Tonka toy. I don't give a damn if she gonna put Bobby on the back. Get her off from now. No one got no business in the back of no Tonka toy. You put army men and stuff in there. Man, we get the army man with a little press thing on his foot. His gun go this way. You gotta turn that way. Now you man. You only got y'all remember that leg be stuck in that thing? Had that pink blood on that. That's it, man. That's all man stuff right there. No, what's wrong? Now, let me say this, because I want to be fair. And it ain't gay. A boy can't eat the cake from the Easy Bay oven. Because a soldier got to eat. Police got to eat. You can't eat out that Easy Bay oven and still be straight. Isn't that right? I just want to clear that up for our men. All right, we're going to get ready to look at this a little bit. Let's see. This is Romans 15:4. Listen.
For whatever Nikotab before, Nikotab telemeters,
To teach us, to show us, and instruct us.
so that through endurance
Going through without giving way.
and through the nakum of the Ketubim,
From the reward of the writers,
we might have tikva.
we might have a cord attachment. I want us to look at something. See if that's the 16th chapter of the book of Babar. They'll call it Numbers. 19. What I say, 16? I don't know why I said that one. Let's see why I said 19. How about that? Mod. Bar. We are going to try to put more emphasis on making sure we get this right. This is part of our deliverance right here. See, what a lot of our people going to want the liberation of, let's just be free from up under rule and leadership. You got to have rule and leadership. We just want proper rule and leadership. We're not teaching our people that we'll be ungoverned. We need to be governed. And one of our governing for us, we want to make sure for us, if our people get the mindset to finally move in that direction, for us, our governing starts from here, from the word. Y'all got it? Okay, let's see what we have. This is Mark 19:1. Listen.
Then Yahuwah spoke to Mushah and to Aharon, saying,
What did he say?
This is the statute of the Torah which Yahuwah has amar.
This is what Yahuwah has commanded.
Saying, speak to the Beni of Yasharal, that they bring you an unblemished red heifer, which is not in it a defect, in which a yoke has never been placed on it.
Y'all hear what they want them to bring? Let's look up the heifer, because the heifer is more, that's effeminate, what they would call a cow. What's the word they're giving for heifer? You ain't nothing but a big fat heifer. Well, oh, like Farah. Farah is the word they're using for heifer. Let's look at see what it is in operate, because we need to understand it. How about that? We learn together. A heifer, what else is it going to tell us? Cow, heifer, kind. Again, this is not what it is. This is one thing I want to consider. A cow, a heifer, a kind is not what it is. These are the words that tell you that King James renders for this word, a Farah. But we're going to look up the root to see where it comes from. Okay, a bullock, a par, apparently as breaking forth in the wild strength, or perhaps as dividing the hoof. So they tell you this, perhaps, what are they telling you? They're not actually sure about it, but this is what they're coming up, contemplating. Based off of this is what you learn, and you need to know this. When you're looking at words and you start looking up our words, you have English-speaking people that have done the defining of your words. Unless they spoke with the people that culturally spoke the language and knew the language, all they do at this point is what we call is speculative, okay? Based off of what they're saying they used and looking at, okay, this particular animal divide the hoof, this particular animal is this, this is what I'm going to come up with and say this is the definition. So that's why I want to look at it so we can try to find out exactly where these things come from, okay? He's saying a young bull, lock, calf, an ox, which is, what's that, ox was? Bakar. Bakar is the word bakar for the bullock, or the aleph. Okay, a bullock apparently as breaking forth in the wild strength, or perhaps as dividing the hoof. He has another root, or we already looking, this is where it's from, so we already looked at, what's the same thing? Oh, it's another one, what is this one? To violate, to break up, to violate, frustrate. King James, anyway, break, asunder, cast off, cause to cease, clean, defeat, the Samuel, disappoint, dissolve, divide, make of none effect, fail, frustrate, to break up, par. That's par, no, para, para. That's how you say it, to break up. Okay. Hold on, see also, let me see why he wants to see these two, if we could. It just go right back to it. So, okay, they just take us right back again. So that's far as he gone in his search. Is there another search we can make to find out a little more clearer? And the reason why we're doing this, if we don't get it down to the simplistic point, then we won't really get an understanding. What we'll do, we'll say, well, they took a red heifer, or they took it. I want to really kind of make sure we know kind of why. You know what I'm saying? Even with Yahusha, it was an importance of understanding it more than just like Christianity taught us. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. God sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. A couple of things we never looked at. What was the condition of the world? How was it that his death was going to reconcile us? And how critical was the situation that he had to create a son and that his son had to die for it? See, all these are things you need to understand, and that's when you start to get more command of a subject that you understand. I understand why my servitude. If I don't, with my frustration with the system, it's enough to give up with everything. It's enough to give up. I mean, it's enough just to be done with religion. It's really enough to be done. But because I understand the plight, I understand what he did and the significance of it, it gives me that hope, that glimmer of, what's that hope, that invigoration to stay and to believe in it. Because when you see everything you got comes from your oppressor, you don't have a word, you don't have a language, you don't have anything that don't come through by him. So it's like, how do I win? Everything is his. And when Elohim wanted me to believe, wanted me to know that everything was his and it all encompasses him. So what Elohim will say is kind of similar to a, what's the rule I look at? Fascism. Y'all not familiar with that? Fascism is a type of government rule. It's where everything encompasses the government. That's what Mussolini had. That's why the people had to get him. They taught him against it, but the people actually operated in it. America got them to buy into it. Doesn't, it belong to you. Guess who they don't tell that to? They don't tell it to you. Because everything you got, the government, you don't even believe, you don't even know you're in a fascist government. Okay, let's see this. How many of y'all own your car or own a car? So you don't have to pay for a tag. If you own your property, your house, you're still going to say, that's taxes. No, that's part of fascism. Teach you that everything encompasses the government. How many of y'all got a mattress? Go tell who you pay for that mattress, or somebody paid for that mattress, gave it to you. Go tear that tag off and see the FBI want to talk to you. They find out about it. Okay, read your mattress. It clearly tells you not to take that tag off. How many of y'all never read that on your mattress? Okay, look it up. Can we pull that up so they can know what it says on that mattress? That's federal. One thing they're going to get you on, anytime you take ID off of something, it's called altered ID. You cannot cut the mattress. Go ahead. All right, y'all look. You lay on that mattress. Why are they going to tell you can't cut the tag? It's your mattress. You can piss in the bed, they don't lock you up. That should be a crime. But if I touch the tag on the mattress, now it become criminal. The notification that the removal of mattress tag is punishable by, what is that called? It's not directed at anyone. In actuality, it's just for the mattress manufacturer customers. On the other hand, can safely remove these tags after purchase if they so choose without any fear of consequences. They just changed that one. While we had the conversation, what y'all think they're going to do on these new mattresses? Now, I tell you what. You would do what? I would have changed the definition by there. Who are that against me, Jahid? No, we need to see it. We ain't got to, hold on, let's do that. We're going to put a buffer here right quick and change it. For those who thought they saw, you ain't seen what you thought you saw. No, but no, they did. That used to be, can we blow that tag up? Google gonna come, go ahead and tear that tag off. What did it say on here? See, that's why, they covered it up. Hold on. Under the penalty of law, this tag not to be removed except by the, that's said by the consumer? Oh, they used to say that. It did. But what if you the slave? How many of y'all didn't buy y'all mattress when you was a baby? Go tell that tag or you going to jail. Y'all heard what the man said now. Listen, I don't make these laws, I just tell you where they are. Now you think consumers on our mattress. Do this. Pull up a tag from 1973. Which one give you a name? Look at Jahi, that hypocrite. Oh, no. What happened? I read my tag one time. I don't remember consumer being on there. Look up one from 1970. Let's hit the 1970 tag. What year you bought my first mattress? You remember? It had to be like 1969, 70, one of them baby mattresses somewhere now. I would hate to think I was sleeping on the floor because I was born in 68. Look at 1969 tag. See, like I remember reading that I was a baby. Before I remember looking at it, before I used to walk up there to the store and see Mr. Vick and get them groceries when I was 2. Let's see him. Which one? No, let's go to another. This is a plant. Go down. It's another one. Go down. It's another one. What year that one is?
The one right under there.
Which one?
Go to one in the top left corner.
Top left corner. Said not for sale. See, y'all didn't see that. Now cover that one up. Found another one. Not for sale. Owner owned material, which is under penalty of law. This tag. Really, I can't make that out. Consumer don't have that many letters. Y'all see that? That don't look like consumer. Look at this. That's too many words right here. What that word is right here? That's that construction. Ain't no way that many letters in consumer, is it? Look at that. Y'all see that? That's the tag I'm talking about right now. So now we have to move. Do y'all see consumer? You said the consequences. It's set by consequences. Now, Dave, I'm so glad you took that home COVID test today. That's it. Consequences. Order penalty of law not to remove except by the consequences. God damn, man. I don't remember that being. I remember a lot. Let me tell you what happened. I know what it was. Back then when I read it, I used to steal. So as a criminal, you just pick up key words as a criminal. Law. And you know law is you going to jail. So the rest of it was that. I don't remember seeing consumer. This is all new to me now. Y'all go home and look at y'all tag. I tell you what, move your tag. I'm going to call the police on you. Oh, here go one. There it is. Boom, he found it. I seen it. Look at that. All new material. Yeah, there you go. He won't know what tags are illegal to remove. See that? They finna get them right here. Boom. It is only against the law to remove the tag prior to the sale and delivery of a pillow or mattress to the final. Essentially, that means sellers, see that? Seller, that means can't remove a stamp or tag. Oh, no, white folk do it, you ain't got no problem with it. All of a sudden, that nigga need to know every word. See that, your pillow? How many of y'all took the tag off your pillow? How many of y'all, I know my wife, you ain't bought that pillow, I paid for that pillow. You going to jail now? All right, come on. That's scary. All right, come on back. So they don't lose it. Somebody don't think it's used. Yeah, people selling used mattresses. But I'm telling you, when we were coming along. When I was coming in the 70s, nigga ain't even get a new mattress. All your mattresses were used. When your mom them got through farting in it, then they pass it to you. Or you got a who remember that growing up? How many of y'all remember? You ain't getting no new mattress? All your mattresses were used. So I didn't know the tags on nothing. When we were, me either. I don't know where we got them mattresses. I just know they came in and you flip. Listen, if it had a piss spot on it, flip it over. The pillow top wouldn't work, but I sure pissed in that thing. But look at him. But I was flipping that thing like pancake. Listen, when I came along, you pissed in the mattress. Do you know what they said? Get your behind up. You had to drag it outside and hang it on the back porch so the wind would dry it. Y'all remember that? Who remember that? Thank you. Somebody, you remember that? Yeah, you pissed that thing. You had to pull them outside on the back porch and leave them out there all day so the wind dry. Yeah, you're going to keep that. Oh, my goodness. You're going to break out later on. Go ahead. Go ahead. What's the question?
What all other information is on the tag? How many years you should have it, right?
No, the other one tell you how long the warranty. Most people don't know, and they mess up and they throw away mattresses. Your mattresses actually come with a warranty. The cheap ones are 3 years. The most of them are 10. Some are 20. I used to go buy new mattresses. I didn't never realize. I realized it probably in the 90s. I started realizing when boards break, some of that's why you don't want to get them. If people pay attention to your mattress, I'm telling you what the key is though. They will not warranty your mattress if you pissed in it. See, another thing that messed us, they won't. Your warranty, that's why you want to buy a mattress cover. A lot of people don't know this. The mattress cover, why you do that, so if you piss or whatever, it don't go through. This is how they beat you, the manufacturer. Look at your mattress. If your mattress, if you see this like the way it dip, you call those people, they'll replace that mattress. I know, I did a bunch of them. I'm telling you, listen, people don't know that. Like we used to see, you'll see them before it had like the little waves in them. That's a defect. And they got to replace that mattress. Look on there, if you look on there, 10 years, I call them bastards come out there, look at them. They put a string across your bed. I watch that, listen, they don't strain that thing, look at it, get down. They put the measuring tape on there. I said, go ahead and get through. You can get up that mattress. Man, I went through some mattresses on. I got them, I said, this one, he ain't working. They had to come back with that string again. They kind of measured out. I said, I'm done with these mattresses. I said, just give my money back. I used to just throw them away, buy another. I get pissed, just get another one. I ain't like how it fit. Little core come up. They warranty these mattresses, but most of us don't know how you'll lose your warranty if you, like, I'm telling you what's bad. Eating in the bed, and if you spill something and it get on that mattress, you just voided your warranty. Because this is where they're going to get you. Even though a spring might break, anything, they're going to say, because you weighed something on that mattress, it took away the integrity of the spring, which you know it didn't. That's how they beat you. See, how many of y'all didn't know this stuff? Let me help y'all out. If you have a mattress, get you a mattress cover. I know people look at it, they're expensive, $50. We didn't know because we were stupid. I used to get them, listen, people don't tell you this. So you'll be thinking, I ain't getting a mattress cover, I just don't weigh nothing. If anything gets on that, when they checking that mattress, they're looking for spots. All they need is that spot, we ain't got a warranty. They're going to say, that's why the mattress fit. It's right here. It fell down here. What happens, see, when that spot right there got wet, it trickled down to here, and you're done. Don't even waste your time. Get your mattress cover. Stop pissing in the bed. When you get that mattress cover, let me tell you what you don't do. You can lay a turd on it, but the scent gonna be in it. Now that might be something too. Don't ask me how I know. There's some people in here I know sitting out in the hallway that told me about it. And hell, with a scent, but that's what you got to do. So they help. See, all this stuff, people didn't tell us that. Because everything we got was hand-me-down. We always took a mattress outside and throw them away. So that's stuff you need to learn. Do not remove this tag under the penalty of law. Now see, I know I ain't crazy. Look at that. Oh, they hate that bastard. Oh, now. Oh, do not remove this tag under penalty of law. Where's that, consumer? Nothing. You been busted. I know I seen it before. I said, hold on a minute. I remember I was 3 months, I was rolling, and I was laying out the bed one time. I rolled back over, I was going to pull myself back up. I remember saying, Lord. I said, they're criminal. I remember that. And then I said, I know I seen it. I don't remember reading Consumer. Consequences, I do remember that. Consequences. Now, where is this at? What? Oh, they just fought me. Oh, just fight. Look at where this at? Where did Consumer? Huh? Look at that. This article contains all new material. You don't see that no more either. All these matches now are recyclable. What did you see? A lot of folks fight me. I think it's some kind of some kind of horse, something. What? Yeah, some kind of hair. You'll see that you'd have that string-like thing in there. You said, what kind of hair? Oh, yeah. Have some hair, hog hair. I know Mike, you eat his mattress. Man, I'm hungry right now. I can eat my mattress. And what? That's horse hair. Yeah, I remember that. What's that? Sisal fiber, cotton. What's that? Cotton. You got the thing. Oh, felt. Okay. I didn't know what that. See that? Y'all don't see no Consumer. This tag is attached, required by law and certification, and that this article is as who? No, they ain't no representative. We'll just go with consequences. See that? Y'all see that? Y'all gonna give me a hand all right. Woo! Do y'all know my whole ministry was on the line? How much searching we had to go find that thing? I don't know who that is. I love them people. I'm gonna give me one of them matches. I'm gonna get one of them tags. I'm gonna have somebody breaking all your house and sew it on them. Now y'all go, you preach it right. It's on mine. All right, that's good. All right, so that, again, we want to make sure that when we're doing this, we just want to make sure we get to our finest point of understanding, okay? This is what we need. This is the statute of the Torah, which Yahuwah has commanded Amar, saying, speak to the Benim of Yasharal, which are the sons of Yasharal, that they bring you an unblemished red, they'll call it here for what we said, para, which is not, he spelled not N-O-I, in it a defect, and which a yoke has never been placed on it, which makes a lot of sense when you look at Yahusha. See, all these things were done. Now, the fact that they knew this, and when he spoke to them, the Benim of Yasharal, and the reason why you would speak to the Benim of Yasharal is why? Hands? Good answer. John beat you to it. Anybody in the hall? Anybody in the Kingdom Hall? Okay. Only thing knock any of y'all out is Kingdom Hall. Now, we got Hump out here. Are we going to go with Hump or are we going to go with John? All right, let's go with Hump. All right, Hump. Y'all, I just sat here and told y'all the Kingdom Hall outrank in him. We got to get the wrong answer before we get the right answer, okay? I'm helping you out now. That'll make your answer, like I'm saying. Might get a little extra 11 later. All right, Hump, you represent the kingdom. Tell her what happened? Hold on for a minute. He was in a where?
He was in the bar like you talked last
night. I'm confused. Why he says, speak to the Benim of Yasharal? We read it last night. Oh, no. That's a different. I tell you what. Do me a favor. Come put your name on the board. Come, and put a check up the back. We got John first. We got Ian over there too now. Hold on. You got it. You got the right answer. All right, we're gonna go with John. Let's go. What you got, John? Talking to Yashua, that's the Elohim. Oh, no. Oh, no, we get you one. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go ahead. All right, we got, Austin. That's all I know the Torah. Wow. There were people. What you got 100%? Because Yashua has been? Mm-mm. This is the statute of the Torah, which Yahuwah has Amar, commanded, saying, speak to the of. And who you say who killed them was? No, the reason why I just kind of looking at it, why he told you to speak to the Benin of Yasharal, Earlier in writing, you'd have found him saying, speak to Yahusha. Now you're talking to the Benin of Yahusha. One thing, it would have taught them something they already were taught, because he told them it was a statute. You're supposed to teach it to you and your children. See, you're trying to put a practice in place. That's part of your Torah. You're supposed to teach it to your children and to your children's children. So it made sense to teach it to Yahusha's children. Because now you look at Yahusha, he said was my son. So now we're talking about Yahusha's children. So I'm trying to grow somebody the same pattern. Remember, train them up. What was it? So when they're old, that's why you would also teach the children. See, the reason why y'all need to know this, you need to understand why the practice is. We recite. You know, the Bible says you're supposed to train them. Why? See, he told you these are statutes. Can we look at what a statute are? What a statute is? So these are English words they're using, but a lot of times we don't know what it's saying. We just kind of assuming things. Y'all got what I'm saying? I want to really encompass what it means. Meaning statute. A written law passed by a legislative body. So this is something that Yahuwah has governed for us. Y'all got it? He's giving it, so when everything they got, and you know, we go back, we said whatsoever, we started in Romans 15:4, whatsoever was Qatar. What was Qatar for? That's our legislation. That's what these people have. See, it's been legislated. Can we look at what legislate is, please? See, the more information we have about a thing, the more understanding we get when we read it. Because you don't want to just be somebody reciting something. You really want to understand it, okay? We know the governing body is Yahuwah. Legislate, make or enact law. Y'all got it? So that's what he said. So this statute, he made this a law. Y'all got it? So when you spoke to the Benin or Yahusha, this was a practice that we were going to continue to do, to teach it to your children. Remember, when he made each, what did he say? Yeah, our image. And Yahusha told us that Yahuwah taught him. He told us that he was taught by the Father. So now the same practice would have been invoked here, that we were teaching it to our children. Y'all got it? Yes, sir. That way that they would know. These are things, listen, a lot of stuff we do, we don't think a whole lot about it. We're like, you know, typically we take kids and separate them, put them in children's church and people where we took them. They need to know the same thing we know. Yahusha he wouldn't have been in no children's church. They wouldn't have been in no playing, doing no finger paint. This is stuff where the kids need something to do. I'll give them something to do. Yes, speak to them. I'm commanding. This is a statute for you to teach them. Why y'all think we done lost our kids? Hey, finger painting and drawing and construction, you do that at school. Here, you need to know what we know. Yes, that's right. That's just being honest. They don't need to know nothing different. They need to know what we know. That's right. Okay? Let's see. Let's get back up what we got. What happened? Gotta be the white. All right. So let's see what happened. Okay, they're gonna bring the unblemished, which is not any defect which a yoke has never been placed on it. I'm telling you something else. What's key? All this we can prove out and show you the premise of how they were supposed to understand him, simply because of what they were supposed to do. Now you look what they were supposed to do. That they were supposed to do what? What they supposed to do? What were they supposed to do? That's how you got Yahusha. We brought him. It was our responsibility to get it, which means we had to have knowledge of. We had to be able to know that no yoke, no work had ever been put on. You don't find it strange that you don't ever find Yahusha doing any work. You don't find it strange that you don't ever find him that he was out somewhere building something, that he was out fishing. They were pulling in the fish. He told them where to catch the net. Now, somebody would have looked at it, he'd have looked like a bum. Think about it. Man, we say here, hypothetically, busting our ass and you ain't doing nothing. Later on, you'll need me. Later on, you'll need me. You couldn't put no work. You couldn't charge him with nothing. Because later on, he looked at, I got to be without fault. And listen, the only way to know that, you had to know something about the animal. See, I grew up in the country. We had horses down in my aunt's house and other aunt's house, so I grew up around horses some. You can tell by the horse. When you rub down the back and your hand drop like this and come back up, leave that horse. They talking about, yeah, this him. I rode him probably about 2 times. You don't roll hell out this thing. That thing ain't good for nothing but glue. You can look and tell he been worked. I had a cousin, he wouldn't get a horse. I had two. They wouldn't get a horse unless it was wild. Horse will bite you. They jump the gate. They chase you. And they love them wild. They get them wild. They get them straight wild like that. Nothing on them because they wanted to break them. So when Yahusha came, it made sense now when we look at him because you can't find any writings about him doing any type of labor. When you find him going about doing healing people. You'll find him in there teaching. You won't find them. They talking about Yahusha was picking up sticks and Yahusha was building. Yahusha was carrying. He found that cripple. His man tell you. He said, "I'm gonna grab the other end. You grab the front of it." No, you take up your bed and walk. Yeah, he had to make sure it wasn't nothing on him. Y'all got it? Simply because of his feet. Now, who would understand it better? Who would be able to embrace what he did were people that knew the Torah. That's why he wanted to teach it to Yahusha and to their children. Guess what Yahusha's children gonna do? They'll do what? And guess what happened when we see Yahusha? When we saw Yahusha on the scene? That's how we knew. Y'all got it? So all this is important. We'll go back and we can prove this for you. All this that you find about him, you can find him. When they was on the ship and it was thundering and lightning and flashing and water, and y'all remember he was trying to help them, trying to get that kid ship started. He was like, "Come on, pass me the rope. Come on, pull." What he was doing? Think about when you look at what you got to be saying. Yeah, sorry nigga. We said, I mean, I'm being realistic. But think about what is your perception of him at the beginning and from just being flagged. What you going to say? Oh, that's Yahusha. You're thinking, why he not doing it? They even told him to get up. They said, we perishing. And you landing here asleep. Then he was looking at, later on, you're going to need me. Later on, you're going to need me. I'm going to do the best work that ever going to be done. The work I'm going to do is going to bear, he told you. He said, the works I do, they bear witness of me. Which means we had to, what? Think about this. The works you do, I ain't saying you do nothing. Exactly. Yeah. So later on when they bring me and I become your offering for Kataim, you're going to see why it makes sense. And somebody need to witness that. Yeah. You know, you'll get these preachers that say, think about it. The son usually takes on the trade. Joseph, his father, was what? Which means Yahusha had to be. Which means Yahusha, let's go ahead all the way out now. Which means it's more probable and likely that Yahusha that he was building, doing some kind of construction work. And you would be exactly wrong. But the only way to know this, people had to be there to witness. Right. Even when it came down to bringing in Matthias, when they numbered, when Yehuda fell by way of transgression, they said, now, which two of these that been with us since the whole beginning, this man teaching, even to the time he was taken away, should be numbered among us so that he can be what? Be a witness. The letter, we had to validate this, that the man had done no work. Hello? See, it would look as though he would have been a bum off rip with us thinking, but not knowing your Torah, it made perfectly good sense. Hold on, sir. Let's see. All right, come on. We'll go back and listen.
You shall give her to Eleazar the Kohan, and she shall be brought outside the camp, and she shall be slaughtered in his pani.
Wow. Listen.
And Eleazar the Kohan shall take some of his dung with his finger, and sprinkle some of his dung toward the front of the tent of appointment 7 times.
Well, listen. That's tight now. Listen.
Then the heifer shall be burned in his its hide and its basar and its dung with its refuse shall be burned.
Y'all see what happened? His hide, everything, and his flesh, and its dung with the refuse shall be burned. Listen.
The Kohan shall take cedar wood and hyssop and double dipped crimson and cast it into the midst of the burning heifer.
Listen.
The Kohan shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in Ma'im, and afterward come into the camp. But the Kohan shall be unclean until evening.
All right, let's just kind of start to look and try to imagine and try to put together what people saw and really get an understanding to what he did. Because if you don't know this, a lot of things he did wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. Okay? It just really wouldn't make a lot of sense. See if that's the 27th chapter of the book of Matthew. Matthew 27. If I get a chance, I'll write it down. Matthew 27. See if that's 11. 27 and 11. Might be 14. Let's see. Matthew. Listen.
Yahusha was made to stand in front of the governor, and the governor questioned, saying, "Are you the Malak of the Yahudim?" And Yahusha said, "You have said it." And the Rosh Kohanim and the Zakanim spoke their accusations against him, but he did not answer a debar. Then Pilatus said to him, "Do you not shama how many things they are testifying against you?" But he did not answer him even one debar. And the governor was greatly amazed. Now on every muhad, the governor would release for the arm one prisoner that they wanted.
Yes, sir.
And at that time, they had a well-known prisoner named Bar Abba.
They're called Barabbas. Bar Abba, meaning he was born of the Father. They never told her, they just told her Barabbas. And we ran named Bar Abba, meaning he was born of the Father. And amazingly, every year they would come in and he would release one of them. In the hands for why? What you got, Cannon? Candidate?
Sound like a scapegoat.
Scapegoat. Every year they would do that. We would bring two in and we would release one. See, it wasn't just something he did. Remember, every year, hold on. Was it 16? And at that time, they had, hold on, we were 16? Where were we at? Did we jump down that far already? Now, every muhad, the governor would release for the arm one prisoner that they wanted. This is the thing you start looking at. We already had this custom where we would take two goats and we would put our hands upon one and pronounce all our kataim on it, all the sin. We would pronounce it on him. And on the second one, we would take him and we would let him go in a place uninhabited. What is that? Is that the 9th chapter book of Uyakra? Let me see right quick. How many of y'all haven't read it? So I ain't got to go there, don't worry about it. Everybody know it already? Who don't know it? Now their hand come up this tight. They looked at me, I said, well, I just keep moving, save me time. Uyakra, say that, that's the 9th chapter. Say that 9. Uyakra, they'll call it Leviticus. That's something you need to understand. And this ain't, 16 and 1. Let's see. Listen.
Now Yahuwah spoke to Mushah after the moot of the two Beni of Aharon, when they had approached the Pani of Yahuwah and moot. Yahuwah said to Mushah, "Tell your Ak Aharon that he shall not enter at any time into the Kadash Malkum inside the veil before the Rekam seat, which is on the Taba, so that he shall not move. For I shall appear in the cloud over the Rekam seat. Aharon shall enter the Kadash Malkum with this, with a young bull for a kata offering and a ram for a burnt offering. He shall put on the Kadash linen tunic, and the linen breeches shall be next to his basar, and he shall be girded with the linen sash and attired with the linen turban. These are Kadash garments. Then he shall bathe his basar in ma'im and put them on. He shall take from the adah of the Beni of Yasharal 2 hairy goats for a kata offering and 1 ram for a burnt offering. Then Aharon shall offer the bull for the kata offering, which is for himself, that he may make kafar for himself and for his bed.
Okay.
He shall take the 2 goats and present them before Yahuwah at the doorway of the tent of appointment. Aharon shall cast lots for the 2 goats, 1 lot for Yahuwah and the other lot for the scapegoat.
So now you can understand when Pelotus set him, and he was going to release one unto him. This is where he got the practice from during the Muhad. He was looking at the two goats. One he was going to release, one was going to be for Yahuwah. The other one was a scapegoat. Let's see.
Then Aharon shall offer the goat on which the lot for Yahuwah fell on it, and make it a katah offering.
Now you can see why the people chose Yahusha. If you pay attention in Yehukanan 1:27, the next day it said when Yehukanan saw Yahusha, get what he said? Behold, oh wow, what we should have knew off the rip.
That was for Elohim.
If that was the lamb of Elohim, which would be equivalent to the goat, that was going to be our katah offering. You see, that's why it was important for us to pay attention why he was chosen. They'll tell you how we chose him. It was already predicated that he was going to be chosen because this was Yahuwah's goat. This is the one he was going to give us for a sin offering. Listen what was supposed to happen to him. Come on.
But the goat on which the lot for the scapegoat fell on it shall be presented alive before Yahuwah.
That's why they had to put him up there. Come on.
To make kafar upon it.
Listen.
To shalak it into Bamarbar as the scapegoat.
So now what we're going to look at when you're talking about how he had to present it, now you'll understand for those that are not familiar and for those that have, now you can see why it was imperative that Yahusha was escaping every time they try to catch him. Remember, they was intent on killing him. Listen, in the 4th chapter of the book of Oriah, they call Luke, if you'll read on down, past 16, everybody like to go, you'll find they actually were going to take him to a cliff. They were going to throw him off. How many of y'all didn't know that? If you read in the 4th chapter on down, it'll clearly tell you that. They would take him to the foot of a hill. They were going to throw him off. Yes, sir. That's why he kept escaping. Every time they would try to get him, they would get ready to kill him. Yes, that's why he had to get out of it, because you couldn't present him alive if he was dead. He was going to be for atonement. Like people say, I don't get it. Why was he escaping? Why he was scared of? Because I got to be presented alive. You got to present me alive to make atonement. You can't make atonement with nothing dead. Got it? So now the things start to come into character. Now you start to understand when you're reading why certain things happen versus, well, that's just the Lord. That's how the Lord working. That's just how Jesus is. We'll never know. You would know if you knew the Torah. Y'all got it. These things were revealed. We saw it, right? The book declared that those things belong to us. He said the secret things belong to Elohim. Those things that are revealed belong unto us and to our benin. That we should do them, even all this Torah. Y'all haven't read that either? Let them see it right quick. All our hot dabarim, I think it's 29 and 29. I want y'all to understand why you need to know this, okay? They'll call it Deuteronomy. This one, is it 29? Listen what he tells you.
The secret things belong to Yahuwah, our all.
But what happened?
But the things revealed belong to us and to our Bani Alam, that we may observe all the Dabarim of this Torah.
So if he was done in the presence of the people, how that was secret? If it was done in the presence of the people, that means it was revealed. That's right. That means that belonged to who?
Us.
And that's why he wants you to teach it to him. When Yahusha was up on the mount in the 19th chapter of the book of Oriah, he started to weep. Y'all don't remember that either? About 19 and 34? And he wept when he beheld the city. And he told them if they had known and the thing that belonged to them. He said, but now they were hidden from them. And that their enemies were going to come and lay them even to the ground because they did know the time of your visitation. Y'all better pay attention. I'm trying to tell you, I just came to warn you, your time here now. These folks going to kill you because your time here. Why y'all think they were trying to kill Yahushua? His time was drawing near. Why y'all think these people killing us? This new? Do y'all know we had the most murders during the time when Mushah was born? Yeah. The time had drawn near. They needed to execute anything that was favorable, probable, that could come in to deliver us. Yeah. Our people had been talking about there was a deliverer coming. Yes, sir. That we were going to get a Yahusha. Yeah. And those people looked at you, we can't afford a Yahusha. We can't afford to get rid of these people and the hard burden fall on us.
Yep, it is.
Why you think they keep you a slave here?
Yes, sir.
So I got to make sure you get conscious and understand your visitation. They try to tell you about your visitation. They ain't want to listen, didn't it? Where that in author confusion or Jahi, what your name would call. So y'all see that? All right, come on. Let's go back to what we got. So y'all see how important that is? They'll try to tell you what how it don't belong to you. He said if it was secret, you wouldn't know nothing about it. Mm-hmm. So if you see it, you need to know about it. He told you when things happen. He told you need to ask and inquire diligently about it. Don't worry about it. Come on. This 16:10, come on.
But the goat on which the lot for the scapegoat fell on it shall be presented Kai before Yahuwah to make kafar upon it, to shalak it into marbar as the scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
Then Aharon shall offer the bull of the kata offering, which is for himself, and make kafar for himself and for his bet. Mm-hmm. And he shall slaughter the bull of the kata offering, which is for himself.
Mm-hmm.
He shall take a fire pan full of coals of fire from upon the altar from before Yahuwah, and his hands full of incense of fragment perfumes beaten small, and bring it from inside the veil.
Mm-hmm.
He shall put the incense on the fire before Yahuwah, that the cloud of incense may cover the rakam seat that is on the tabah of the testimony, so that he may not move.
Now, let me say that. Now, when you start reading it, it gets really detailed. And a lot of times people kind of get confused on how things happen. But he need to be detailed so they can understand how things actually happen. Ephesians 5:1. Ephesians 5:1. Listen.
Therefore, halak in the darakim of Yahuwah, and as Yedidah Benin,
Uh-huh.
and halak in Ahab, just as the Mashiach also has Ahab you,
You see that? Just like the Mashiach has a harm you, and what did he do?
and gave himself up for us as an offering
As an offering? What kind of offering?
and a sacrifice to Elohim
For what?
for a fragrant aroma.
See, when they told him to take it in their hand. When you look at the yard, the hand is how a man does what he do. Y'all got it? There's a lot of things Yahusha did even with his hand. He took his hand and he rubbed spit over a man's eyes and put it over his eyes. The hands show a man's craftsmanship here working. The works that he told y'all to do, he said they bear witness of me. So that's why when he offered himself up, it was a sweet smelling savor, something that was appealing to Elohim's nose. Because it was something that was attractive. It was an odor that he received. Y'all got it because of the works he did. That's why he told, this is my Yedidah Ben.
I'm well pleased.
There go your aroma right now. There go your fragrance. And that's what he's been trying to get from us. To show you it's always been done that way and people just didn't pay attention. See if that the book of Yahusha, they call Isaiah 1 and about 19, no, 11, 9. 1 and 9. Yeshayahu. See, what became somewhat literal, he transformed it over for people that had an eye or had a keen ear to pay attention. You got what I'm saying? To see it was him. 1 and 9. Listen. Listen.
Unless Yahuwah of Sabaoth had left us a few survivors,
Look what happened.
we would be like Sodom.
Uh-huh.
We would be like Gomorrah.
So, y'all hear what happened? That's how what they would call the Lord of War. That's what the host is, the Lord of the armies is what they would call it. Except he had left us some, which tell us he had intended on killing everybody. And we realize, and the only reason you use that when it comes down to, look what he used, Sodom and Gomorrah. We got to guess about what a few is? How many is a few? Lut and his 2 daughters. He let us know it was that small of a people he saved. That's how we sprung out to be this amount of people. Except he had left us a few seed. We had been like Sodom, and we've been made like Gomorrah. He was going to destroy us and burn us all up. So he took some from them. And you got the nerve, the people got the nerve to ask, can a clean thing come out of unclean thing? You be the judge. Lut and his daughters came out of Gomorrah, Sodom and Gomorrah. So a clean thing can't come out of unclean thing. That's all I'm trying to find out. Listen.
Shammah, the Debar of Yahuwah, you rulers of Sodom, give ear to the Torah of our all, you of Gomorrah.
So who innocent? Who innocent? He just called your rulers out and the people that follow him. He told you that the rulers of the people causing the error, and they that let them are destroyed. I just told the rulers to listen, and I told the people who you rule to listen. And I refer to you guys all as Sodom and Gomorrah. I was intent on destroying the whole city. Those are familiar with the Torah. He was going to destroy the whole city. Abraham made proclamation with Yahuwah. He made an agreement with Yahuwah to not destroy them all if there be 50. He said, I'll spare the whole city. He said, if it be 40, he said, be 40, I'll spare the city. He said, listen, I don't want to keep worrying. If it be 30 of them, he said, if it be 30, I'll spare the city. He said, please don't be angry with your abode. If there be 10, he said, get them out. I'm going to destroy the city. He couldn't find but 3. He destroyed the city. Y'all got it? Okay. That's how important Yahusha was. He more valuable than 3. He more valuable than 10. He said, get them out. I'm going to destroy the city. The man kept us. That's how valuable he was. Luke couldn't get the city. Luke and all his Sadiq, all his writing, couldn't keep that city up. How righteous this man had to be that he could come along and keep all of them dying. How Sadiq this man had to be that he could keep all of them dying. Now the man said it, except he had left us a seed. Now unto Abraham and to his seed. That's where the promises were made. He already had an intent with his anger, with his mindset bent on destroying this place. I gotta keep a seed. That's how I'm going to repopulate. I'm going to regenerate this thing. And I'm going to form me an arm that's going to heart me, that's going to adore me, that's going to serve me, shakar me, worship me according to my word. That's what he's trying to get us to do. But we have to understand what had to be done or what had to be performed in order to get us to become that type of people. Come on. Come on.
To what are the multitude of your zabak to me? Says Yahuwah, I am full of burnt offerings of rams.
Wow. What else?
And the fat of fed cattle, and I delight not in the dam of bulls, of lambs, or of goat.
Hold on for a minute. Now, you look at, we done gone through him, and we've been told that we were supposed to be taught that every one of us was supposed to present these things alive to that man. And now the man done came back and told us, you know what? I'm sick of it. I've gotten absolutely nothing out of nothing you've done. Everything you have done before me had been a waste. And all you're looking at, I just been doing your word, but it hadn't been performed to his expectations. Let's see what he said.
When you come to appear before me,
What happened?
who requires this at your hand,
Like what?
to trample my courts.
See now? What happened?
Do not add to bring vain zabak. Incense is an abomination to me.
What happened?
Kadash and
Incense?
Shabbat,
Go ahead.
the calling of Adah of assemblies, I cannot endure iniquity in the solemn assembly.
What happened?
I hate your Kodashim and
your
your
new
appointed
moon?
and your appointed Muaddi. They have become a burden to me.
What happened?
I am weary to bear them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you spread out your hands, I shall hide my from you.
Come on.
Yes, when you multiply Palal, I shall not Shama. Your hands are covered with dawn. Wash yourselves, make yourselves clean, remove the Rosha of your doings from Ma'un. Cease to do Rosha, learn to do Tub, seek Sadat, reprove the oppressed, Shafit the orphan, defend the widow.
So now when we're looking at this, he's going through trying to tell them why all these things have become a violation. See, what we think is if we keep the muhads, we keep the Shabbat, and we bring these offerings, then we're two with Yahuwah, which we're good. But now he's starting to tell you where your violation at. It's not in the keeping of my days or what I give you. It's the fact that your hands, you're not innocent. It's the fact you've done all these things, so you blotted out. You voided everything that could be used. Like we talk about, it's certain things you get. You can void your warranties. It's certain appliances, certain things you can buy. You void your warranty. All the things that he gave us that was supposed to be essential and help us that he was going to stand behind, he said you voided your warranty because you were trampling down my courts. You oppressed the widow. All the things I told you not to do, void them out. And we thought if we kept the Shabbat, if we kept the muhar, if we offered sacrifice, if we brought the bull out for our sin offering, if we brought the goats and brought the lamb, they would cover us. And he let us know it was to no avail. Incense. He just talked about sweet smelling savor. When did Yahusha have incense in the hand when he was up on the tomb? His works. His works gave off an aroma. Y'all got it? His works gave off a flavor that Yahuwah said is pleasing in my eyes. We learned first how he enjoyed the smell of a sweet odor. Bringing in certain incense, certain plants we burn them together, and we knew Elohim he accepts this. Elohim is pleased with this. Elohim smells this. He adores this. Then he looked at the hands of the person that brought it. Put that out. Put that out. They're like, but this what you like. Put that out. How did it go from good to bad? Nothing wrong with this, it's you. And for me to accept this is to say I'm okay with what you're doing. Put it out, it stinks. See, when they read Yeshayahu, the first chapter, they'll think he don't acknowledge the Shabbat or the Kudah. He's only acknowledge it when you do it. He says abomination when you do it. And when something abomination is utterly detestable. So now we start looking at, I thought you were pleased with these things, but I ain't pleased with you. So because of who you are, you just blotted all this out. See, we've been thinking that we just keep this stuff, we've been okay. And the whole time, he's been looking for us to actually produce it in our behavior. That's why we start attacking the inner man. The first is the physical, showing up and doing these things. We had to get it where they become eternal or internal. Y'all got it? This is what he pleased with. Y'all got it? Even in the book of Mikyah, that they call Micah, in the 6th chapter, he asked, will Yahuwah be pleased if with 10,000 rivers of oil, if I give the flesh of my body for the sins of my soul? But he said, but I done showed you. What does Elohim accept? He said, but to do justly, be sadat. And that a man halak humbly before me. He told us what to do, but we kept assuming, but the things he gave us, first of all, they were essential to us because it showed a compliance and obedience, which is what he desires. But what we learn how to do, because we crafted people, we learn how to show up on Shabbat, but we cut hell all week. Do absolutely nothing he told us to do. And we thought that the Shabbat would cover us. He said, the Shabbat won't cover you. The bed is shorter. You can't stretch yourself. And the covering narrow, you can't wrap yourself up in it. See, because Yahuwah is a covering. Yahusha is a covering. But you learn, it's some things he can't cover. Yeah. Consistent, contrary behavior, he can't cover. I can cover if you committing, you stop it. But if you keep doing it, he said, I can't cover it. The covering too narrow. Y'all got it? The bed, we can't up. He said, come unto me, all you that labor and heavy labor. What are you going to do? He said, the bed's shorter. You know how hard it is to sleep in a bed where your leg hang off from your calf muscle? Right below your calf muscle, the rail catching you. You know what I'm saying? Or you try to slide up to get your legs under, your head hang off. You said, man, I can't be cut. So when he said, come with me, all you that burden and heavy laden, I'll give you what? We were looking to be on a couch and be comfortable. And now we realize we're not comfortable. Guess why? He said the bed's shorter. You looking to wrap yourself up. So I mean, we were kids, we'd get on the cover. Man, the boogeyman can't get, I don't know how the hell he couldn't pull the cover back. We put on. The man can kill folk, but he can't pull a cover back. I see the boogeyman, put the cover over your head. For wherever he cannot touch the cover, some kind of boogeyman law. But these folks convinced us of all these things. He said the covering narrow. If you pull over your head, your feet gonna be out. That's an uncomfortable sleep. You pull it go, one leg leave you naked, the other you like, this ain't working. He said, that's how I want you to be when it comes down to my Torah. In order for you to follow it and be productive where you get the right results, there's a behavior you got to have contingent upon this. There's a behavior you have up to the Shabbat. There's a behavior you have up unto offering the sacrifice and offering. There's a behavior you have up unto the adore that he said he wants you to present. Our problem has been we just try to show up. As long as you show up, as long as you keep coming. That starts off all right when you're a babe. But when you really start getting knowledge, you start maturing, you can't just show up. You got to show out. Y'all got to do how he say you got to show up, and you got, when I'm saying show out, you got to present yourself lively. Even when Cup told her, he told we had to present ourselves to Elohim. What that kind of stone that was? A lively stone. Kind of like that goat had to be lively before Yahuwah. So you can make atonement. We'll come dragging, we come dead, we come out. But Cup clearly told her to come as a lively stone. It's got to have life in it. It's certain things in building. Let me tell you something. You can build a house or build a building, and it can be nice, beautiful edifice. When you cut the electricity on, it's like the building of the thing takes life. The most I love about whenever we get through building, when that electric come on, it's like the energy, it's an energy that takes the house. You say, now you can really see a creation. The problem is with us, we got the constructive part, just ain't got no energy. That's the life that's on the inside of it. You be surprised. You walk in the house, it's cold, you walk in, or come out the door, you come have the lights on and it's warm. You can do that because it's got life in it. It's a protection in there. It's a hiding place. It's a comfort you get. He said, that's what I try to offer you on the inside. And we don't ever get it. We just keep working on the outside surfaces. You got it. Then we got to start attacking things internal. Y'all got to, all these things that he did, you'll start to go back and see how he actually demonstrated all of it. He started showing us the significant, important parts of what we missed. Y'all got it? Just like we went to, like going to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is very important to go to and worship. That's part of our tour. You're supposed to appear every year. Did y'all not know that? It's very important. Very important for you to appear to Jerusalem. But when Yahusha met the young lady, he clearly told her, though, he said, but the time was going to come. He said that you weren't going to worship Yahuwah here or in Jerusalem. Because there was in Shamram that they called Samaria. She said, that's where men ought to worship. He said, no. He said, the hour going to come. He said, well, you're not going to worship him in Jerusalem? He said, no, in this mountain. He said, the Father seeketh such to worship him. And those that are going to worship him are going to worship him in the Ruach. Guess where Jerusalem at now? It's in your heart when you live up to the expectation. He realized it. Okay, what we're going to do? You over here in America, they got you financially strapped. How you getting back to Jerusalem every year? Where your roadmap? What we going to do with the people that felons that can't get a passport? Who honest in heart that want to serve him? You out the picture. But that's why he came and established to the woman that the true worshipers were going to come. He said they're going to worship him in spirit and in truth. He said that's who the Father looking for. Everybody that worshiped in Jerusalem, if they were doing it right, it should have still been there. Yeah. Because they didn't worship in the truth. That's right. Y'all got it? They just went with the place. Like the woman told him, Jerusalem is where people supposed to worship him. He said, no. He said the time going to change. Yeah. See, had he not already prepared and set this up, now who we going to use? Daniel? What was Daniel serving him at? That's Jerusalem? Get what he said. But if they turn toward that place, if they plow toward, that's why we plow toward Kadim, the east. Hold on. Don't y'all know he knew this? This is a direct violation for you to keep a muhar at him. Had he not already prepared that there were going to be some people going to worship me in truth. They're going to worship me in heart and not just according to the letter. If I don't set it up, then all flesh going to fail before me. Who letting slaves go? We tried this in Pharaoh. We told Pharaoh, let us go and keep a 3-day muhar. Let's see what he told her, 5 and 1 right quick. In the book of All Shemut, they call it. The book, all these religions out here telling you before they going to hell, don't go to Jerusalem. This tight. How'd you get this doctrine? Because they don't want to know. They don't want to know. Then you got them over here saying you ain't got to keep them days because you ain't in Jerusalem. All we got to do is see what the book say. All Shemut. 5 and 1. Let me say what I want. Let's see what he said.
And afterward, Moshe and Aharon came and said to Pharaoh, "Thus says Yahuwah."
You said something. Moses said he felt. They call him Moses. Moses said one day he felt like going out there pissing behind some trees.
Thus says Yahuwah.
Y'all hear that? What that mean when he said something? What that got that?
That's right.
Thus said who?
Yahuwah.
What he could possibly tell him?
The all of Yasharal.
You hear what he told him? Come on.
Let my arm go, that they may celebrate a muhad to me in Bamidbar.
What were they going to do? Just go out there, just kick and hang out.
Celebrate a muhad.
Go and celebrate his muhad. Keep my feast. What happened?
But Pharaoh said, "Who is Yahuwah, that I should obey his call to let Yasharal go?"
And you said after that, he said, you know, I thought about y'all go ahead and leave.
I do not know Yahuwah, and besides, I shall not let Yasharal go.
What they going to do about that? You think these crackers is actually going to let y'all go do
No,
this?
sir.
He already done tried that. He already know how that works.
Yep.
He already know these people going to jam you up. He
Yep.
already done seen it before. This ain't nothing new to throw him.
That's
I
right.
already know these people going to throw you. What a man, who? Get your ass back in and get to work.
That's right.
You about to get fired.
That's right.
So now we got to do, we got to punk down, got to be quiet and shut him, got to let it go. He tried it. You bow at that name. You answer at that name. You answer at that call. The people you deal with don't. These folks not letting you go nowhere. Where y'all get that from? Look at that 4 and 22 right quick of the book of Yahushua. They call John. I just want y'all to understand a couple of things before we go. How the man already set this up. Ain't no way we could be saved.
Nope.
Ain't no way you could be saved. You know how much a trip cost to go to Jerusalem? You be staying up 5 years. You got to be there every year.
Yep. Yes, sir.
What else? What about that? Oh, 4 and 20. 4 and 20. All right, come on.
Our both shakah in this har.
Y'all hear that? She said their fathers served in that mountain. What happened?
And you say Jerusalem is the chosen Malkum to shakah there.
That's what she said. Yahusha told her that Jerusalem is the chosen place where you supposed to shakah him at. What happened?
Yahushua said to her,
What did Yahusha say? You need
Ashah.
to get to Jerusalem?
Ashah among me that an hour shall come when you shall not shakah the Abba on this har, nor in Jerusalem.
What happened?
You shakah what you do not know,
See that? You've been shakah and you don't even know what you've been doing. Why?
but we shakah what we know.
Why?
For Yeshua is from Yehudi. It's
Y'all hear that?
from the Yahudim.
That's important for you. That your salvation is from the Yahudim. That's why it was important for you to know that Yahushua was a Yehudi. It was also important for you to know that when Yahushua actually first went up, he was sacrificing for himself. For his house. Remember, you were supposed to take a bullock. Aharon was supposed to offer it for him or for his house, which would be for his mishpachah. The 2 other goats were separate. That's what he manifested to you. I will offer for my house, Yehuda. Yehuda had transgression on him. He had to offer for us. That's why he let them know. See, any people trying to obtain salvation, I don't know what you're doing if you don't acknowledge Yehudi. It came from Yehudi. It did not come from Yasharal. That's what he's trying to tell her. If you've been worshiping, you don't even know what you're worshiping. Because it's of us. It's of the Yehudi. They don't know what they believe in. Folks don't even know what they believe. It's come from Jesus Christ. Makes absolutely no sense. They read something, they don't even know what they read. It came from Yehudi. I don't know what they're doing. It makes sense to know where it come from. Listen, in the 7th chapter of the book of, let's see right quick, 7, 13, 12, 9, see if it's 7, 9, maybe 11 of Abarim, they call Hebrews. Abarim. That man had to cover himself on every end. Listen.
And it may be to say that through the tithe of Abraham, even Louis, who received the tithe, was paid tithe. For he was still in the loins of the Abba when Melchizedek left to meet him. If therefore perfection were through the Kohanhood of the Beni of Louis, in which is under it the arm were given the Torah, why is this still necessary to cum another Kohan after the order of Melchizedek?
See, he was trying to tell you about the difference when you start to go back and look at the writer of the book of Abarim, they call Hebrews. Some will count this to Shaul, they call Paul. We have no references to back that up. He was just trying to get the people to try to see if they had actually received perfection from the first set of ordinance that they were given. He don't see what was the purpose of a second one being established. See, all this was very much necessary for us because we look at who Aharun was not perfected. Aharun, they call Aaron, a lot of these people had defects. All of them that came forth had defects. So it was a necessity that he also be one. Got to remember, who's supposed to offer this lamb, this ram, and he go, who's supposed to do this?
Benin.
Who?
Benin Yashra.
Yeah. Telling the person supposed to accept him and offer him.
The Kohan.
The Kohan. Only problem was going to be with Yahusha, he was not from Louis. They was not going to acknowledge him from Louis. They were going to acknowledge him from Yehudi. See, from his mother's side, he was Louis. From his father's side, he also could cover being Yehudi. That's how he could operate in both capacities. So if you were going to have a problem with him because how he was going to be established after the order of Melchizedek, who was the first Kohan we ever knew of, who was without beginning of days and ending of days. That's what was important about him. Because certain things that Yahushua told you clearly let you know you did not want to count him from Louis. You want to count him from Melchizedek, which is the Malach of righteousness. When he told the people was, when Abraham seen him, he rejoiced in his days. They looked at him and they had a problem. They said, you're not even 50 years old. You don't seen Abraham? He said, before Abraham was, I am. They wanted to kill him. He tried to tell them I was already existing. So if you're going to even count me as a Kohan, you won't want to use Louis. You would really want to use Sadiq, Melchizedek. Because Melchizedek came on the scene. We don't know when he was born. And all of a sudden, he just came up and left. And we don't know when he left. And so when Yahusha came on, it was necessity that he was going to be a Kohan, but we weren't going to use Louis. Even though now his mother's side could cover to put him into Louis. It'd just be too much problem. Let's just go ahead with Melchizedek. Listen.
And not be Kara after the order of Aharun.
See that? Not being called after the order of Aharun. Tell him why.
For when the Kohanhood is changed, there is a necessity that a change is made to the Torah also.
See that? So we changed the order, then it was necessary. We were going to have to change some things in the Torah too. That's when Yahuwah let us know about how no more will he going to put the children to death for the parents. And no more will the parent be put to death for the children. He said, but every man we're going to pay for his own sin. The only way we're going to be able to do that, we're going to change the Kohan. How are we going to change the Torah without changing? That's like when Biden put in certain things, you can't change it while Biden is in. It's going to be necessary when another president come in. There's a whole lot of things. Taxes going to change. The amount, whether it's less or more, if some other thing going to be implemented, going to change because you just changing other guards. That's what he did. If you count him after coming under Aharun, you can't have no change because it's the same thing. Okay. I don't know what the folks doing. Ain't no change. It's going to be the same thing. Let's see how that works. You don't have to go get 1, 12. 12th chapter, you don't have to go and get it of the book of Olive Malachim. Yes, Olive Malachim. Y'all get a chance. Y'all can live 1 Kings. You'll go back and you'll read in the 12th chapter. You'll find when the people came to Rehoboam, who was the son of Shalomah, that they call Solomon. And what did they want him to do? Make it what? Why did they want him to make it easier? Because they who? They daddy made it hard. And Rehoboam did what? Wow. Wouldn't make sense because he was after the same order. Wouldn't make sense for him to change it. It's the same order. Why would I change it when I come from my father? I'm going to keep the same protocol. That was the difference of why when Yahushua came, you couldn't count him after the order of Aharun because you couldn't change the guards. Which means if you ain't changed the guard, you can't change the Torah. That's why he told you, since we're changing the Kohan, then we can change the Torah. See, a lot of stuff y'all don't know. It's important. All you believe is, he God, he can do what he want to do. He can't. He Elohim. He can only do what he said he'll do. Right. And the reason why he keeps it that way, I can't be believing somebody that do what they want to do. Because once I start believing one, now you done jumped and done something else. Now I believe, okay, now you done jumped, did. Oh, that's why he told, I'm not man. I keep it one way. That's why, listen, when you were walking, you ain't believe what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to halak, you're supposed to be on a straight path. You ain't supposed to turn to the right or the left. You could turn off. He said you can't turn. Straight path. That's what he told you. Okay. That's all you who will know. Straight path. Don't turn to the right or the left. Us? I changed my mind. Then I'm thinking about it this way. He said, okay, all right, we're going to go to, you're like, okay, well, I'm trying to do this. Now I'm going to start, you're like, you know what, it's too confusing. Yahuwah got it one way, hot or cold, right or wrong. Well, it's gray area. He said, that's the problem I got. Ain't no gray area. It's right and wrong, hot and cold. That's it. See, that's what messes us up, because these religions come along and they introduce all these other protocol verses. This is the way he's always been. He told you, I'm Yahuwah. Wow. Because it ain't going to work. Now you done went revolving. You start out in Barashit, the Shabbat is the 7th day. Now, as soon as the yard change, now it move. I can't get this. You're not consistent. Every month you keep changing something. He said, no, I remain the same. Yeah. So I keep it the same way. Everything he called for Sadiq when he got him, he said he ain't calling for nothing different. Sadiq. The same thing. People try to make it look like he's complicated, he's changed up and swapped up. He been consistent. He the same. It don't make sense to get him or count him after the order of Aharun and then say you're going to change the Torah. That don't make sense. Aharun got all their writings and got all of their rituals from the Torah. How you going to change that? That's why I got to count him after somewhere else. Let's see what he told us right quick. Come on.
Or whoever speaks to him like that, it belongs to another matah, from which no one ever served anyone at the altar.
Wow. You see that? He's telling you right here now. He belonged to another matah. He belonged to another tribe. You wouldn't count him to Louis, and yet he actually did connect to Louis. Well, he just told you he belonged to another tribe. What happened?
For it is evident that all that our Adon has sprung out of Yehuda.
You said, and not out of Louis? We're not going to count Louis? He just told you. Nobody gave attendance at the altar for Yehuda because Yehuda couldn't do it.
Right.
Everybody that's going to sit and receive at the altar had to come from Louis.
Yeah.
So the only way to make this right, to make it sensible, he said, I got to count this man after Melchizedek. This is the lineage of Melchizedek, the Malak of righteousness. Y'all got it?
Yes,
Listen, we needed somebody right. We were wrong people. You just talked about offering up something without blemish. Aharonim had blemishes. You just finished building a golden calf for the people. Yeah. And Musa told you made the people to transgress. Come on, folks, stop it. You and your sister jumped up in the man's face saying that y'all had the same rituals and rites as Musa did. Come on, folks, you can't say you were righteous now. Come on now. He said, I got to count that man after a whole nother matah. Y'all got to consider this why. I'll try to get ready to let y'all go. This is how bad the situation was we were in. Sometimes people might get arrested. They don't know how bad it is. They start coming to them, no, this is bad. Sometimes people not sick, the doctor had to come in, you know what I'm saying, close the door here, man, sit down, and say, I need to talk to you. Sometimes they talk to me about what? This is serious. How serious? Gravely ill. You're gravely ill. We're talking about death. Now you start getting that way. You start breaking, start hearing you dying. I knew one day I was going to die. I wasn't expecting to die now. I never thought I'd hear them where I seen other people. Now I'm dealing with it. What am I going to do? What's going to happen to me? When am I going to die? Is it going to be now? Is it going to be a couple of hours? Is it going to be a day? What? All this stuff started bothering your mind. That's what condition you was in. Me and you. That's why all this had to happen. This man created a book that let all these attributes, all these situations happen to come through to show you this is how serious your situation is. It hit us all at one time. We thought we was in pretty good shape. You think the people that were coming in and keeping Shabbat thought that they had error and defects? The people who were offering sacrifice, the people received, you think they thought they were wrong? Sure, they thought those things had covered for them. Now he come on the scene and give us a man that came back and said, how about everything y'all been doing been wrong? You're like, what? Everything I've been doing wrong? And he could come and show you why they were wrong. You said, but we've been paying our tithe. He said, yeah, but you left off the weightier matter. You should have been making sure you were paying judgment. You should have had Rekam. You should have had Shalom. These you ought to have done, and you shouldn't have left the other undone. We had it like, well, I mean, all I can do is what I can. This is what I'm going to do. He said, yeah, but you just violated because you wouldn't do all of it. That's right. We never knew we was in that condition. This man jumped right up on the scene and got in our face and said, you're a hypocrite. You're trying to figure out, a hypocrite? Who you talking about? He said, you. And he started going through all the things we were doing. He said, you keep talking about what you would have done if you'd have been back in that day. He said, you the same people. He said, man, you just like a kubah, a grave. He said, on the outside, you appear to look good, but inside, you full of dead work. How they make coffins look? What's inside of them? How they make the graves look? With the flowers, how they look? Beautiful. What's inside of it? He said, that's you. He said, that's you. Y'all don't know. Why y'all think we wanted to kill him? Why y'all think we wanted him dead? Nobody ain't never talked to us like that. Where do you think he get out talking to people like that? First of all, I ain't seen your ass do no work. Didn't even know he was setting up the way for us. He knew we were going to criticize him. He knew. What you think he had to do behind that? He had to tell him, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. What do you expect to say when you don't know? What action do you demonstrate when you don't know you ain't been taught? Yeah. Why you think he told us on the two? He asked the man, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Y'all have no idea what was done for us to be him. Every one of us should have been dead a long time ago. We too far gone. We too far ignorant. We were too far removed. Yet that man separated. He knew we were going to. Why were we not going to criticize it? Look, listen. Our book said, if a man don't work, do y'all know Yahusha was sitting around eating? What y'all think some of them folk were thinking? I know this nigga ain't grabbing none of these. And the nigga in the front of the line. Oh, don't act like how we ain't. We know how we talk. Come on, let me try to unravel, try to get yourself out of, and let's get to where we at. What are we thinking? This joke in the front of the line. I've been busting my ass all day. That joker sitting up there. He ain't even been bad. And then he got nerve to criticize him. Whole time he was set up away. How you think they felt when they realized who he was? Now I got to clean this up. Guess what? I already knew what you were going to do. That's why I told him to forgive you. You didn't know what you were doing. Listen, what you going to do? That's why I appreciate him, Daniel. You know you can open your mouth and say something and don't realize how far you done went. And it's how they say it's some stuff you can't take back. How about he said, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. They have no idea what they've done. Had we known it, the book said we want to crucify them. Did y'all know that? Yes, sir. Even after you hearing it, it didn't make, you can say, you running your mouth. It's just certain things about a human that you don't do. You say, I can't do that. Yeah. I can't put no nail in that man's hand. I can't do that, not me. I got to go in disguise. Yeah. I got to go in disguise. Isn't that right? I got to sit with the wine bibber. So you'll account me in as one of them. And you don't have no, guess what? You ain't got no problem killing a drunk. A nigga won't work. Nigga sitting around running folk down and he ain't doing nothing. I'll be the first one to kill that nigga. That's how he had to do it. He know ain't no way would have done it no other way. Hello? Listen. Shaul, they call Saul. I'm not trying to let y'all go. Most High not said him. He had given out a decree that nobody was to summon no kind of familiar spirits. Nobody. But he had gotten down to a point that he knew something was getting ready to happen. He had them to search out a woman who had the ability to be able to conjure up familiar spirits, ruachs. So he sent into it, he came into her. And she wanted to know who he was looking for. He told her he was looking for an old man. And she called that old man to come up from the moot. This in your book. And when that old man came up from the moot, it was Shamuel. And when Shamuel came in, that lady realized, you saw. And she knew she was going to die behind that. Because there was no reason for her to summons them up. He had already given the decree. Kill everybody that could summon. Anybody that could bring one unfamiliar spirit, he wanted them dead. But it came to a point of situation, he needed them. Because he didn't know no direction. He didn't know what was getting ready to happen. He knew something was going to happen. He didn't know what was going to happen. And Yahuwah wasn't responding. So he did what we all do. You don't get it from me, you go find somebody on YouTube somewhere else. Go get your familiar spirit. Go find it somewhere else. That same thing they did. Got in one of them crisis situations. And when she summons him up, that lady realized something. You Shaul, you gave a decree to kill anybody that could bring him up. But he let her keep her life. And when he got Shaul up, when he came up, Shamuel let him know, I don't know why you woke me up from my rest. But come tomorrow, you'll be right over here with me. That thing emptied that man out. That thing done near killed him. It done near killed him. He had went here and counted him up and found out, said, come tomorrow, he'll be right down here with me. That just broke him. He didn't even have the energy to kill her. He was done. He's like, this just too much gone. Looking at it now, you've been told you ain't got no hope. You ain't got, can you imagine somebody tell you that? You got no hope. The man done cut you off and you ain't getting in. How you think that man felt? The way we should have felt before we found out that Yahusha could save us. That you ain't got no hope, ain't no way you getting in, and tomorrow you'll be right down in the grave, riding and waiting. That's why I appreciate it. That's why I'm trying to get us to go back and reconsider our ways, start going back, looking over our values, and looking how essential this man is to and what he actually done for us. It's a lot been done. You know, we just thought it was a light thing to reject him, but you got to think, if I take my only son, my only one, I'm talking about not just, how about I really love this one? If I had any other kids, none of them could please me more than this one. And I gave you this one. And you took this in vain, I got to kill you. Just understand what position he in when he come back here. I got to kill you. I gave you everything I had. I wouldn't have another one. This is the only one I got, and I gave it to you. What you think I'm going to do? You think about this. You sit here, you ain't got no money. Somebody asks you to get some money, get something to eat. That's your last dime. And they take it and they buy some dope or a bill, and you see them with it. What you thinking? Well, that what happened. I'll break your damn neck. I can't believe you took my last bit and you did no shit like that. That's what he looking at. The fact that he gave you his last, his only. He didn't go create another one after that and did it for us. And you'll take this in vain, it's going to be bad for you. It's going to be bad for me if we don't get it right. That's why we put in the energy to get it right. Everybody, when he come back, why do you think he's going to make these people pay? They have no idea why they're going to pay. He could have went in and what you say, got another one? He said, I couldn't do that again. He couldn't put him back up on the toot again. Nothing he did when it came to him, he could do none of that again. That was everything I had. It ain't like I could make another. No, that's all I had. And you took it in vain. You need to know what you're playing with. You need to know what you're dealing with. You need to know why it's so important for you to get this right. He's coming back here to convict all and convince all. Y'all hear me? That's why when he come back here, he's going to have judgment without recall. There's no reason to spare you. I gave you everything you needed. I covered everything you could have possibly done. I took away every reproach that you could possibly have, and you'll still walk around in your sin. Oh, I know I can't be saved. I already know I can't be saved. Go ahead and say, you ain't going to do what it takes to be saved. Because he took it. What reproach you got on you that he can't take off? Because that means he ain't got the ability he say he got. If you got a reproach and it can't come off, tell us what it is. Because that means he ain't who he say he is. So you can understand why he's going to be so angry when he come back. You can understand why he ain't going to have no mercy on him when he come back. He gave us everything we need to make sure we get it right. Your choice. That's two.